Hold on. I'm telling you, that shot was placed exactly where it was meant to be. Whether it was a bullet or a projectile, it was placed exactly where it needed to be.
Okay. After Charlie was killed, I mean, she knows, everybody above me knows. They're like, damn, we have kids. Like, Dalton's got kids. He's got a wife. He's got a house. Shit, we just killed his boss. Like, or his boss just died. How are we going to pay for it?
Is that a Freudian slip?
No, it's real. But Charlie was massive in the Jewish community. They loved him.
He was.
So if there was any Jews in
Utah,
they were there, all of them.
Yeah.
Within, I mean, people travel hours and hours and hours for these events. So,
sure.
I mean, if there was any Jews around Utah Valley, they were there.
It just so happened to be on the day that he was assassinated.
That's the day he happened to be speaking there, dumb nuts.
Yeah.
What other day would he be there? Why would he be there the day before, the day after?
But if that's truly how you feel, and based on everything you just said right now, Dion, you have to stop paying taxes. You have to stop working, stop contributing to society, because that money to Israel comes from your paycheck too.
Yeah, but I'm going to
quit
go to jail.
working.
I'm going to go to jail if I don't pay that.
Oh, so you're choosing the lesser of evils in that situation.
Go to jail?
Not to go to jail is the lesser of evils. You're going to choose to fund the Israel money by not going to jail. You're going to pay your taxes.
I have to
so
pay
you
my
could avoid
taxes
jail. So you know that money's going to Israel, bro. But you're choosing the lesser of evils by saying, I got to keep working, though. I got to keep paying my taxes.
Or go to jail.
Or go to jail.
Which
I
one's
can
less
either.
evil?
You're choosing the lesser of evil, though. I'm not saying either one's right or wrong. I'm just
My
saying
$10,000 doesn't go to Israel.
Oh, promise you.
I don't.
All of
no,
our
it
tax
doesn't.
dollars go
Not
to funding
mine.
Israel, bro.
Not mine.
You don't get to choose.
I do. I
no,
choose.
that's delusion. You're not being realistic, bro.
You're
being delusional. All right, welcome back to another episode of Ill Eagle Culture Brands Red Tape Talk. I'm your host, John Ostos, a.k.a. Ill Eagle CEO, and I'm here this time with my three counterparts, Dion, Two Cup Larry, Cody, Big Meat Malk, and Dalton, I'm doing dad shit, Nelson. What's going on, fellas?
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. You were waiting to say that.
Yeah. I really
So yeah, let's preface this real quick before Cody goes in here. But Dalton is a regular guest, as everybody knows who watches this consistently enough. This time he's a guest in a different way. We're not just going to talk about what's going on in the road, but we're going to talk about what's going on in the Turning Point world, because it has become mainstream on a very high level. There's been a lot of things since the unfortunate passing of Charlie Kirk, the recent new leadership at Turning Point, some of the new loyalties and things of that nature that we're seeing within Turning Point, and then the billions of questions that we have. And I would like to preface this by saying, first of all, that Dalton is very neutral in the situation, but also Dalton is more behind the scenes than any of us and the speculation that we have. So this is an opportunity for us to really kind of dig in, ask some questions, and get a point of view from somebody who's firsthand knowledge, who's at the events, who's, present where Nicki Minaj and Brandon Tatum and all these people show up at. So this is a good inside view and understanding of what's going on with Turning Point, and just a good opportunity for us conspiracy theorists to clear the air on some controversy. Maybe I understand that there might be some talking points that Dalton can't elaborate on, because he doesn't know how to elaborate, or he doesn't know the truth one way or the other, and so we'll respect that. At least me and Dion will. Cody is another situation, but we're going to go in. We're going to have some good conversation with Dalton. So Dalton, man, we appreciate you being here as usual, and I'm looking forward to digging in, man.
Well, thanks for having me back. This is like my 7th time on here. And
for sure.
Like you said, it's much different this time. The first time you guys were like, we love Turning Point, and this is so great to have you on here.
He's going in already.
Corner, and you three are, it's like a
lot could change in a year.
A lot can change in a year. Speaking of that, I actually just read a text from you, and I screenshot it, so I had this. You said this was in September, so this is within this year. You said, people don't realize the importance of this organization and what you guys do on campus. I hope it continues. And fast forward a couple months, and you're the biggest hater.
What date was that?
September 11th.
9/11.
Okay. So
9/11.
Yeah, that was the day after Charlie was killed.
What's changed?
A lot has changed.
Okay, I'll say nothing that the representatives I manage or the work I do has changed. Everything's been the same. We still go to campuses. We still host events.
The problem is the organization as a whole. I think that no matter what you guys do is going to be tainted by the people that are at the top.
Okay. What organization do you work for?
The United States government.
Do they do things that may make it perceived like
oh
it's
shit,
being
we're
tainted?
done.
you.
Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. No. Will you guys let me fucking respond?
And we're done.
Absolutely. And I'll be the first to admit that we follow orders sometimes by the people at the top that most people probably won't agree with, right? But at the end of the day, we are following the Constitution of the United States. That's first and foremost. So even if the President of the United States would get given an unlawful order, people at the bottom are still going to follow the Constitution of the United States. Okay? Whereas, but you guys are at a much smaller scale following the orders of the CEO, which is Erika Kirk. But at the end of the day, you guys are trying to make money. Like Turning Point is trying to make money. Regardless of what you guys might say at the bottom, those people at the top are trying to make money. Whereas us, we're trying to do a job. The National Guard is trying to do a job. The military is trying to do a job. We're there to protect the citizens of the country. That is our first and foremost. That's our job. Whereas you guys at the bottom are trying to spread a message. But at the end of the day, it's all about money.
Let me ask you this, Dalton. Has there been pressure from the top leadership at Turning Point for you guys doing the campuses and stuff like that to change your narrative at all, or the talking points in any way whatsoever? Are you, when you say we're still doing what we were doing and nothing's changed within the groups that you oversee and the work that you're doing, is there a change in the way that the discussion's taking place or the topics of discussion you're having with people, in terms of like, are you being pressured to do that? Or are you still kind of just doing what you do without any specific guidelines you're having to follow?
Well, I would say
at these talking events
since September 10th, I think, I mean, a lot's changed, but in terms of directly answering the question you asked, yes, but it's like a collective agreement that for the couple months after, and even like, maybe when school opens up this month, back at NDSU, we'll get back into this, but it was like, I don't even think Erika said it. I don't think any of the CEOs said it. I don't think any of the high ups said it. It was like everybody collectively agreed we're not going to talk about the Second Amendment for a little bit because it's a pretty touchy subject. Charlie was a big supporter of the Second Amendment. And if I don't go on campus that often, compared to our representatives who are out there every day. And I told my team, I'm like, you guys, like, do not take any two-way stuff out there because you're just inviting that conversation that if I were you, I would not want to have. So I'm just letting you know now, like, this is a conversation we do not want to have in September 25th when we're back on campus or whatever the date was.
Sure.
Just letting them know, like, that is something people are going to bring up because whatever we put out on the tables, wherever we're at, that's something that we're allowing people to come talk about. So if you were a crazy liberal and you came up to the table and you saw something that said, like, protect the Second Amendment, you'd be like, haha, well, Charlie loved the Second Amendment and that's what killed him was a gun. So that's one
allegedly
thing. Well, like, pretty clearly a gun did.
I don't know if it is.
A bullet, I would say, is clear.
Maybe.
Bullets come from guns.
Yeah.
Or
though?
a projectile.
I can't. The projectile is my phone. I throw it at you. That one, you'll be fine.
But if something were to, let's say, come out of his lapel or something,
that's like such a crazy thing because
is it though?
How fast would it move from here to here? It's insane.
I don't know. All I'm saying is a bullet coming from this way is not going to puff up his shirt in the front and the back, and it's not going to break his fucking necklace off of his neck and shoot it out this way, right?
I mean, well, what I would say is I don't know what a bullet would do in that situation.
I could tell you what a 30-06 would do.
I've shot a 30-06. I've killed the deer in my
it's
life.
Certainly not going to get stopped by a vertebrae in his spine. Like, that's not going to happen. It's going to dismember his fucking neck if he actually
especially
was.
at the alleged yards they're saying the shot came from.
200.
And the angle does not make sense. I don't buy it at all. The angle that supposedly he was shot from does not look like it would be fucking. It doesn't look like he would add up at all.
Well, what I would say is, to say one thing is incorrect, that must mean there's another thing that you think is correct. What do you think is correct?
I can tell you that he was not shot from a 30-06.
Okay.
That's for sure. So let me just start out by saying, when this first happened, these guys immediately were like, that doesn't look right. Like, Erika doesn't look right for what she was doing. And I was like, oh, come on, you guys, just give her some space. Like, give her some time. Right?
She's grieving.
And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Now,
what made you jump off
the memorial? Like, after the memorial happened,
yeah,
and then she kept going on this like media tour and kept like was in front of the camera, and then all the clips that came out, I'm like, God damn, she really doesn't look like she was crying at all. Like,
okay, but do you understand if she's crying too much, she's over emotional? If she's not crying enough,
But I didn't see any
crying more.
We didn't see any. We didn't see any tears at all. Like, there's no tears.
There's clips on. I can't even. I mean, she's done a lot of shows, but the show she did was because Charlie had a book tour scheduled. So what she did is she went on the tour and went to every stop Charlie was supposed to go to promote his book that just came out. So it's not like she was calling up Fox. She was like, hey, you guys got a spot for me like next Tuesday? I really want some airtime.
Interesting.
She went to every single book stop where Charlie was supposed to go.
My issue is like, me personally, like, if I were to lose somebody very close to me, I would be distraught for months. And there's no way in hell that you could get me to focus on running a fucking multi-billion-dollar, I don't know if it's billion, let's say multi-million-dollar company. There's no way in hell that I would be able to focus and be able to run in a company that has thousands, hundreds,
several hundreds
of employees. Like, I can't be the tip of the spear. You guys I'm going to put an interim CEO until I am very physically and emotionally and mentally okay to run this company. She stepped into those shoes immediately.
Well, she was appointed there.
She stepped into those shoes immediately.
She was appointed there.
Okay.
She didn't walk into the office and be like, hey guys, I want you to know I'm the boss.
My issue is there is a lot of controversy leading up to when Charlie was assassinated. There was a lot of controversy, and people are not being told what the fuck happened. That is my issue. All right. And then you get Erika, whether or not she was involved, I don't know, but there's a lot of speculation. But my problem is that she gets up there and she steps into those shoes right away and runs onto this meeting order, whether or not she's following in Charlie's fucking stops or not. But it all seems very suspicious and suspect. And my issue with this, leading up to him being assassinated, it was very clear that he was being pressured by people that were involved in a certain group. Very pressured, very much, right? And he didn't like that. And that's what I respect about Charlie. Is like, he's like, no, you can't do this to me. I'm a human being. This is my company, and we don't need you. And for fucking shit, yes, he didn't need him. Because if people saw that he was like, no, you are not going to bully me. This is my shit. People respected that, right? And what an outside person looking in, when he was assassinated, and what Turning Point did was completely opposite of what he was intending to do. That's basically what it looks like for people that are out on the outside.
And what would you say that is the opposite that we're doing that he wouldn't want?
It seems to me, so just watching and reading what people have been saying is that he didn't want anything to do with people that were pressuring him on, that were a part of.
Okay. Like, he wasn't taking money from foreign groups, and you're saying now
it seems that
like they
that
are
is
doing that.
It seems like that is very what has been transpired since, he's been assassinated.
Here's what I think is the big thing. And when, like, you're there in person. So my first point is, our question is, do you, when you're there in person, do you actually see tears and sobbing and sadness from her throughout
or
everything you guys
friends?
doing? Like, do you see the emotion happening that we don't get to see? First
do you see
question.
any of those people in person?
Yeah, I've seen them all in person. Just
Do they seem
3
like,
weeks ago at
like
Amfest.
people that have been
Are broken.
that are so distraught, like that they saw that their best friend, supposedly best friend, has been fucking killed on a national stage?
I'll say like when I saw them, and Erika's team does like they're doing so many things. So like I don't see her very often. Even when I am backstage, I don't see her very often because she's doing like she's checking in with all the speakers, making sure everyone's okay. She's doing like everything at once that Charlie would have done. So I don't see her that often at these type of events. I guess there's only been one since. And at the memorial in Arizona, there was like every person from Trump's administration was there. So it was like Secret Service and Trump's people and Erika and like some of the Turning Point event staff. They controlled the show. I was there to help talk to people when they came in, and I was basically like a glorified attendee because there was 80,000 people there, so I wasn't doing much.
Yeah.
But for Amfest, I mean, yeah, I saw a lot of real emotion, but also I would say like we're there with our biggest Amfest ever, our biggest event ever that besides the memorial, and the people you named like Tyler, Andrew Colvette, Erika, those people are extremely busy, and they don't really have the time to sit and cry. And like same thing with me. Like after it happened in September, I talked to you. I'd seen you at the gym. Like you guys probably saw I was very emotional.
Yeah.
And then like 6, 7, 8 days later when I fly down to Arizona, it's like I didn't have time to cry anymore.
Okay,
like,
that's fair because you're talking friendship versus holy matrimony. My life partner, the person I've bore 2 children with. All of these factors come in when you talk about Erika, right? For her to jump on the horse the same way everyone else is, A, to me personally, is strange. B, I don't know how she functions doing all these amazing things that were all about Charlie, that would remind everyone of Charlie and not completely bawl her eyes out
Like,
every
break
time.
down.
She's capable of maintaining her composure and doing the podcast, all these events, the touring, all that stuff without really looking too distressed, and all while spending way less time with her children than she ever has amongst the passing of her husband and their father. That kind of stuff weirds me out. You can say people grieve differently and that people are focused and so busy, but when I'm busy and I'm going through shit that doesn't even involve death necessarily, bro, it takes me out of my element for a minute. To lose somebody that you love dearly, who, let's talk, it's new love too, so there's still a honeymoon phase happening here, and now they have children, and you go from, oh my God, I'm so distraught, my husband's dead, he was murdered, assassinated. Your number one intention isn't to figure out who did it. Your number one intention is to silence the people who are speculating about who did what. Meanwhile, you're spending way less time with your kids during a time of mourning when you should do nothing but be around them and want to love and call. And maybe she is just different. But if she is different, I think, in my opinion, it does make her some kind of evil. Unless we're completely seeing everything wrong and you have a better perspective. I think that's the point of view that the people are getting. You know what I mean? Like, I want this to not be right. I want you to come in here and be like, guys, trust me, it's legit. I think that's what all the people want. Nobody wants this to be what we're conspiring to see. You know what I mean? But they're not giving us anything. And my last point, and I'll let you go, is, and I know this is probably a touchy subject and you don't have to speak on the issue if you don't want to, but she's wearing necklaces with the Jewish star on them. I seen that in an interview.
And Knights of Malta, which like you guys brought.
Yeah,
that up
I mean,
right
she
away.
speaks a lot on.
Malta?
It's kind of like a Vatican Freemasonry group.
I don't know.
So there's a lot of weird symbolism that coincidentally is showing up. You know what I mean? Which brings us into the conspiracy theory world of like, wow,
Nobody
it
wants
shows
to
up
go
everywhere.
down that road, but it's legit. Like, you can ask these questions, okay? Like, for instance, my dad just retired, fucking working his ass off all, and I stood up and had a speech, and I just started fucking crying just because it was so emotional, right? It was emotional to me. But when I see her, like,
Yeah, but you're pretty soft.
Did your dad say, go sit down? That's enough out of you.
I understand. I am an emotional guy, but at the same time, the point is that when you're talking about something that you care about,
Yes.
you cry, right? And I just don't see that out of her, and it fucking bothers me, dude. It fucking bothers me.
That you
Like,
don't see her cry enough?
that I just don't see any emotion at all. Like it just no emotion. It's just like her facial expressions are just so like fucking dead.
Her eyes are pretty different
They're
too.
just dead. It looks like there's just something. There's nothing there. It's just like a fucking robot. But one of my biggest issues is that memorial that happened. When how long ago was that? Like after Charlie was assassinated?
11 days.
Okay, so 11 days. She comes out on stage. She's like, "That man, I forgive him." And I'm like, I don't care, dude. I don't care if you are the fucking Pope. You are not going to come out 11 days after and say, I forgive him. There's not enough time.
I think a person whose faith is accurate would do that.
I don't think so.
I think a person who loves God, who's truly there.
I understand. But I'm just saying, not after 11 days. I don't think so.
Well, it's a faith-based organization.
Hold on. I'm not done. Let me finish my point.
You're taking my point, first of all.
I don't think that 11 days is enough time to do that. But even if you did, let's say hypothetically, she is that religious, she forgives him. Why are you so angry at another person that's truly just trying to ask questions to find out exactly if there is another theory that assassinated Charlie Kirk?
Okay, so I got a lot to respond.
Yes, there
to
is.
here.
Take your time.
A lot of points.
You didn't even hit your first point.
No, I didn't. Well, John, when you talked about spending time with her kids, I mean, what I would say is like when they're going on, and after being on Fox News now, I kind of know how it works, and I have a couple of Fox News people who I'm friends with, and we text about, Turning Point stuff regularly. And I do think that when she's going on these shows, she's on air for like at max like 30 minutes max, and then she comes off, and so that's like I'm away from my child tonight for 2 hours to be here, and she steps away 30 minutes max to go on camera, and then she goes off and travels.
So her kids travel with her?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. That's that is they would I don't know. But when Charlie was around, there was plenty of clips, including a really famous one when he was in the Fox News set where his daughter ran out to him, and they're very, very family orientated. I mean, Erika always talked about family is the most important thing. Your kids are the most important thing. And as a woman, you're most, you should have children. You should be a mother. That's what's important. And I don't think, and I see a lot of comments that are like, she's not spending time with her kids. And I got to quit reading the comments. I just like swipe up half the time because it gets crazy. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of stuff. I'm sure you type a lot of stuff. But
Hey, okay,
I see
point.
I see it, and I'm like, this is just insane because these people have no idea they don't know anybody around her. They don't know what her day-to-day schedule is like. They don't know when you do a Fox News hit from your laptop virtually that it's like literally 30 minutes max, probably less than that. Like probably way less than 30 minutes. And then you go off, shut your computer, and you're done. And then you're just back at home. Like when I did my Fox News hit, I was sitting in my basement at my desk. It was like 7-8 minutes. Shut my laptop, I'm back to the world. But someone would have guessed like he's taking all this time away from his family to go on Fox News and go do all these Turning Point events.
No, I think it's the volume of
how many
events
she's done?
that she does.
It was like a
and
media
news
tour.
interviews and podcasts.
Well, the
and,
media tour, I mean,
it's the volume at which she does it, not the time spent on each individual.
Well, if I really do think, let's say my wife had all of these massive plans set out for the next 30 days, and she had to go here, and here to promote her book, but she was killed, and everybody loved my wife and was really excited for her book. There's 0% chance I wouldn't travel around all those stops and do it for her.
If I shot your wife in the neck on live and you saw it, you would be like, I gotta go do these things.
She didn't do it till like a month after. Yes, I would. If my wife was like, I have these things going, I'm planning on this adventure. Like,
I would delay it because they would understand why you were going to delay it.
Well, I mean, it's not like she didn't go on those for like, let's see, I'm trying to think of when the first one was. It was into October. So I mean, you're looking at almost 30 days, which I know to you, a guy who cries.
Dude.
Who cries at movies.
That's fine, dude. That's fine. If you want to call me a pussy for crying, like if I think about my dog dying, I'm crying, dude. I guess I care too deeply about people and my dogs.
That's a dog. That's not a person.
But he's a dog. He's mine.
I know your dog is great. I agree. I've seen some pictures.
But the point is that seems a little soon, but okay, to each their own.
I mean, she has grown up in the spotlight her entire life. Like, she was a pageant queen. She was Miss Arizona. She's done this thing her entire life.
Until she was with Charlie.
Cameras. Well, then when she was Charlie, her entire life was Charlie, because that's now her husband and their kids. Yeah. So, yeah, she slowed down a little bit from the cameras. She went on stage at women's events that Turning Point does, and she was, very vocal there. But once her and Charlie got together, the, flying around doing beauty pageants definitely stopped because they were having kids and they were married, and her focus was Charlie and helping Charlie build his business that he'd spent his entire life at that point building. I also think that she is working and helping keep an organization alive that's got roughly 500, 600, maybe 700 employees. I don't know. There's a lot of different branches. I don't know how much is going on, or I don't know what's going on in those ones. But I know that, like, I had heard her say, like, you guys will still have jobs after all this, because after Charlie was killed, I mean, she knows, everybody above me knows. They're like, damn, we have kids. Like, Dalton's got kids. He's got a wife. He's got a house. Shit, we just killed his boss. Like, or his boss just died. How are we gonna pay for it?
Is that a Freudian slip?
No. But they're like, how is he gonna pay for his family?
Are gonna eat it up, bro.
How are we gonna pay for all this shit? And she looks at me, and she looks at all the people below, and is like, damn, they have a family. If I go out and if I hide from them for 60, 90 days like you want her to, then we'll be like, fuck, am I still gonna have a job?
You don't have to do what she did, though. That's the thing. Like, you can do that by just saying, hey, I don't want to keep negating what you're saying, because we're just gonna keep going back and forth then, obviously. But like, if you just say, hey, obviously you guys know what's just happened, like, I've got to take time for myself and my family to grieve this. Obviously Charlie's family, like his parents or his siblings, if he has any, whatever, like, be with those people for some time and think about kind of what you're going to do and then go do it, rather than just going to do it.
Going straight at Erika, I think it's almost like I think you're missing a lot of people before you get to her, because there's a lot of people who since Charlie died, like, their families were on hold for forever. Like, I know my direct boss, he's got a family, and I swear it seems like he slept at the office for like 3 or 4 weeks, because we had so much to do. We had so many people wanting to throw money that we didn't even have pockets big enough to get 3 million donations from across the country. And from, we had this girl who went to the event in Mar-a-Lago that they did for Turning Point, and she was like, I think she was like 16, and she was like, I've saved up my money for this, all of my money I made from working at Dairy Queen for this amount of years, looking to give it to something good. And she gave like her only $600 she had saved up in her savings to Turning Point, because Charlie had impacted her that much. So if Erika was going to sit back and be like, guys, I know this horrible thing happened, everybody in their country, everyone and their dog wants to get involved, but I'm just going to cry over here and you guys figure it out. That would have left a lot of people really disappointed and looking for guidance and looking for leadership. So she stepped up, she stepped out, and she was like, they killed my husband. And if he were here today, he would want the work to continue. He would want the chapters to get started. He would want the donations to fly in. He would want us to send speakers here, here, and here. So she did what he would have wanted, and we continue to grow. And since he died, unfortunately, it took him dying for us to just go to the moon and everything. Like, the amount of students we had signed up.
It looks like you guys lost your base as a result of that. And there might be more money coming in, but we don't know where that money is necessarily coming from.
That's what
as a whole. It's like when Trump lost his base with all the bullshit he was doing. That's kind of what it feels like to us. Because you're right, bro. We all were all about Turning Point, loving where it was going. We love you, dude. Like, we think your work is awesome. We know that you're still trying to do what was going on before all of this had happened. We understand that clearly, and we believe in that part of the mission that you're on. But from a company perspective, they've lost their main base, bro. It's weird to hear that they've grown so exponentially financially, but yet the core of the base of people who were stood behind it, they're the people like us going, what the fuck? What's happening here? This doesn't look right. People are turning on Turning Point as a result of her behavior, it seems like. You know what I mean? And maybe that influences a lot of people, but the point is there is a shit ton of people who are walking that path right now with that understanding or belief system, if you will. Mm-hmm. And so that makes it a little weird. You know what I mean? Well, it's uncomfortable to witness.
Well, I would disagree with you, because you say we've lost our base. We've lost a lot of people who, they're super, super deep into every rabbit hole and every YouTuber who's saying these crazy things, and now they're like anti-Turning Point. That's fine. Then we didn't need them anyway. But I mean, from what I have seen from the numbers on my computer and the people at our events since this has happened, it looks like no matter what all the comments on Instagram are saying, it looks like we have grown like 100x from what I'm seeing in person. Our Amfest, we just had 30,000 people. Last year when you were there was probably max 17,000, 18,000 maybe. And now we just hit 30,000. We had to.
That's fair. You like I said, you got the inside view on this.
I mean, so from like the numbers I had, the people signing up online, the people who fill out or get involved for them, who are begging to get contacted, it's just skyrocketed. We don't have enough employees to deal with it all. That is like the number one issue right now. Is I wish my team was double the size because we have 100x the work.
Yeah. And
you mentioned her going after Candace and forgiving Tyler Robinson. Now I'll talk about that. Well, John was kind of saying how she really, really does stand by her faith. That is like the number one thing in her life was God, family, and country. Exactly how Charlie would say it. That is in that order.
Verbally.
Yeah, they've said like God, family, country a million times.
No, I mean she stands by her faith verbally.
Yeah.
But not in action, it doesn't seem like.
Well, what's she doing that you'd say she wouldn't?
I mean, I don't know. I think most Christians would argue, and this isn't a turning point thing, but her specifically, most Christians would argue that the argument everyone's making to hold Israel on a pedestal is not Christian.
Okay, so you're saying like the Israeli government and how we're
yeah, sure.
I seriously don't know if I've seen her do anything with the Israeli government. Like you showed me a thing that there was this Shabbat Shalom dinner.
I sent it to him today if you want to see
Turning Point
it.
just announced it, I thought.
Yeah.
No, that graphic that you showed me.
It wasn't a graphic. It was her personally saying we're holding Shabbat at Amfest. Like she physically
Shabbat is just being away from your phone or being away from some vice.
Holding a Shabbat dinner at Amfest.
They were talking about the
with
Shabbat.
Speakers.
Charlie did the Shabbat.
With speakers.
Well,
did he really?
Yes, Charlie believed,
He said Shabbat Shalom. I know she says that he did that.
I don't think Charlie said Shabbat Shalom. I don't know. Maybe he did.
We're doing Shabbat Shalom. It's Shabbat.
No, but Shabbat is when you like. I think it was Shabbat where I hope I'm getting the word right, but where he would put his phone away every single Friday.
That seems like it's fucking weird to hold a dinner just for saying Shabbat.
Well, that's something Charlie really believed in, and you weren't questioning it when Charlie
He was holding it. They held a dinner for that.
She was invited.
With speakers.
There.
Who was one of the speakers?
Probably.
You know who it was.
I mean, if you're gonna tell me that there was a famous Jewish speaker there.
No. I don't even think he's Jewish, but he's definitely fucking pro-Israel. I can tell you that.
I'm pretty sure Ben Shapiro is Jewish.
No, I'm saying Brandon Tatum was one of the speakers.
Brandon Tatum's a cool dude.
Hey, it's weird that he's filthy rich all of a sudden, though. I'll say that.
I don't know. I saw him.
That was a weird overnight.
And
by the way,
he wasn't wearing the nicest shoes I've ever seen.
Okay, hold on.
He was wearing normal dress shoes.
Yeah, but he donated almost $500,000 to Turning Point.
Those donations that were given to him.
What kind of dress shoes were they? What do you mean normal?
He was wearing normal dress shoes. Normal.
But you're telling me he's not filthy. You're telling me he's not filthy rich, and he took the donations given to him in the value of $500,000.
But he had money before this.
Sure.
I'm not saying maybe he's rich, maybe he's not.
Just because they're dress shoes doesn't mean they can't say Versace on the inside, dude.
If I give away $500,000, you better bet your life on it that I'm rich.
That money was donated from other people to
Doesn't
him.
matter.
It was
like to him.
Yeah, but if you imagine,
it was to him. He gave
John,
it.
Imagine if you go in your bank account right now and give me $500K. Yeah, that's crazy. He didn't do that. He didn't just open up his wallet and be like, a couple here.
But if
somebody gave you $500K,
he has enough
are you giving it away just because you got $500K?
Especially if you're not rich.
That's a lot of fucking money, dude.
Especially if you're not rich, you're gonna take that $500,000. Like I could see if he took that $500,000, was like, I don't have this kind of money. I'm gonna donate like 20 to 30 grand or something to this because I want to, he went out there to show, he said, I'm giving more than all these people. So look at me. How could I be X or Y? You know what I mean? So I think that's a little bit weird. And again, that's not a Turning Point issue. That has nothing to do with Turning Point. So we don't have to stay on that topic.
I like Brandon.
But
good guy.
Hey, there was a time where I was crazy about the dude. Now, because of his allegiance to Israel, I'm questioning how I feel about him.
Well, I think I told you before, because I had mentioned this to Cody. I was like, I don't really know how much I like him. And then I met him, spent, I don't know, a little over an hour with him. He was super dope.
That's his job, though.
To be super cool to me.
To make everyone like him.
He could have made me hold his socks. Like,
sure, but they got to make people like him to be influential. You know what I mean?
Well, would you say that's what, how you live too? You're a likable guy because you want people to like you.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And I don't accuse you of working with Israel.
Well, but that's because I don't hold allegiance to them.
I don't know. His allegiance is to the United States. You don't think that?
I think when people sure, but now things have changed. Maybe he always has been, and I believe he was in the right place beforehand, but now he's changed his position, and he did it at a time when a lot of people did it in a way that threw us all for a loop. For example, Trump. You know what I mean? They all, and then there's these certain groups of Trump supporters who still walk that line with him, who are like, yeah, allegiance to Israel and in Zionism and this, and it's just like, wait a minute, none of you ever spoke that language before. If they did, we'd all questioned the Zionism a long time ago, but we didn't start questioning it until a bunch of people started all of a sudden being like, Israel is our greatest ally. We hold allegiance, and Israel with America doesn't exist without. And I'm just like, wait a minute, when did everyone start fucking saying that? That's weird. It came out of nowhere. And I do want to point out that alien looks like a Jew. Looks like he has some gold hair sticking out the side of his hat and everything. I wonder if she did that on purpose.
What's that? I'm thinking Hasidic, but that's not what it is. Fuck.
Well, with Trump and the Israel stuff, I'm not a big Trump guy anymore. It's not all because of Israel. I think it's because there's all the fraud in Minnesota, all the crazy shit happening. I think nothing is going to be done about it.
Yeah, I agree with you on all of that.
It has nothing to do with his allegiance or, his alleged allegiance to Israel. It's just Trump is upsetting me in terms of we're not getting the mass deportations we talked about. We're not getting the Epstein files. You guys have talked about that a lot.
What do you mean? You're getting rid of so many people.
They're not getting rid of enough.
It takes time, Dalton. That's what these guys told me.
Did you tell them that? And they were like, no, Trump's got it.
Yeah.
No, Trump doesn't got it. The mass deportations are not happening.
It's not happening.
It's a sad sight. I don't even like, and I told you guys, I voted for Joe Biden the first time I could vote. And then I did all this work to make sure a Democrat didn't win again. Voted for Trump. And now I'm just like, we got to have better options.
Sucks.
I don't even know. Yeah, it sucks.
Go back to your original point when you were talking about Candace Owens.
Okay. To talk back about Candace and Tyler Robinson and Erika's forgiveness of one and, alleged not forgiving the other one. That's pretty easy to talk about because one, she's a devout Christian. She's very, very strong in her faith. Definitely a stronger Christian than I. And I think she had said that it's like a muscle that, you if you use it enough, you keep working your faith, it'll grow tremendously. And Charlie was probably the biggest person that I ever met that actually lived by the book. And then Erika being Charlie's wife, I don't know if she was always like that, but she definitely turned into one of the most.
Well, she was on like reality TV shows and stuff.
What did you do before you got married?
Yeah, but I'm not a
slut,
devout Christian like she claims to be, though.
Well, I think just because she was on a TV show doesn't mean she was not.
She said she said she didn't drink. That was a lie. She clearly drank on that TV show. She said she didn't date. That was a lie. She dated. She was actually engaged to another guy.
Is that guy actually becoming one of the head people at Turning Point now too?
No, that's such bullshit.
That's all bullshit.
Spoken before.
It sounds like bullshit.
No. He's a speaker.
Yeah, he's done it before.
Yeah,
while Charlie was alive.
Not a head dude.
I know, but people are conspiracy. Pages are posting.
He's like the new Charlie. That's what they're saying.
Not even close. No,
but he's a speaker.
Yeah, I could get him to NDSU if I wanted, and it's just like another event. Just like Alex Stein and all these.
Has he always been a speaker? Like
probably for 3. I don't know how many years because he's not a speaker that's ever been on my radar. I just don't know him. I don't know what he does. So he's never been one that I'm like I got to get to North Dakota so I can see him. But I'm sure he's great. I don't know. But she's a very devout Christian. She's
got it.
Strong in her faith. It's pretty obvious. So she was able to forgive him. And that was like, I'm serious. I was, on the floor when that happened. There's 80,000 people around. Everyone's watching her so intensely to see what she's going to say. And she said that, and you better believe the place erupted. Like to see someone like that. And she's trying to be a role model for Christians on how to act. And that's exactly how you should be. Now, I think that a lot of people have said it, and I agree with a lot of people in this particular thing. I would not have said that. I am not a good enough Christian to go up there and say that like she did. I'm just not there yet. Hopefully someday I am. But then when it comes to Candace and how she forgave Tyler Robinson, maybe didn't forgive Candace or is angry at Candace, I mean, Candace is going at the company that her husband started, not just Candace isn't even going, or she, for a long time, she had not gone at Erika. Like if you've seen her video, she intentionally avoided talking about Erika. And then, you know, they finally had a conversation and Candace talked about it. And I didn't even watch her video to recap it. So
But Candace did say after that conversation that she understands that the reason why Erika hadn't said anything was because she was learning stuff from Candace as well that she hadn't known yet, hence why she was allowing her to continue without rebuttaling or saying anything, because she wasn't fully against it. It's the way Candace framed it.
Well, I mean, if that's the truth, then that just shows that Erika was willing to hear it out and willing to hear people
I agree.
say these things. But with that, like, Candace was not attacking Erika. She was obviously not attacking Charlie. She was attacking the organization that Charlie built and the people who helped build the organization. So if I were Erika, I would have been pissed if Candace every single day to millions of people was like, this guy at Turning Point who's super high up and in charge sucks. This guy in Turning Point who helped build it with Charlie, he sucks too. And this person who's been with Charlie since he was 18 helped kill Charlie. If I was Erika, I would have been freaking pissed. And I would have been like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you were good friends with my husband. You claim you were. Everything kind of points to you were. She posted a lot of videos of her and Charlie that no one had ever seen before that looked, you know, really happy and like they were great friends. Now, why is she going at just taking an axe to Charlie's company that Candace was actually at one time somewhat involved in building it up? And now Candace is just like, all you people at the high ups Turning Point, you suck, I hate you, you guys all killed Charlie. And if I'm Erika, I'd be like, what the hell are you doing? Like, no, you can't say that. Stop. You know, that's simple. Like, quit going at the people who now Erika is in charge of. So quit going at all of my employees. Quit going at, you know, the Midwest manager in Fargo, North Dakota, who's super uninvolved with what's happening in Arizona day to day. Like, quit talking about the Turning Point employees like they are complicit in the murder. Like, they're not. So, you know, it's Candace isn't just going at Erika. She's going at every single person all the way up to Erika when she's talking all this shit about Turning Point. So there's a lot of things she said where I'm like, this is clearly incorrect. Like, and just because, you know, I help plan events now and I've helped plan a couple, and I'm like, this is clearly incorrect. She clearly does not know what she's talking about. Maybe 2 years ago or a year and a half ago when she was speaking at events, like maybe it worked this way, but also Candace just showed up to speak, and not trying to diminish that, because I was a very, very big Candace fan. I loved watching her speak, but she just showed up to speak. She did not plan things. She didn't talk to the administrators. She didn't talk to students beforehand. She just showed up. They were like, show up at this loading dock. We'll walk you with security up there. You speak, you leave. Like, she was not involved in the planning. They gave her a date. She said, yes, I'll be there. So when Candace is talking about all this shit that she knows from start to finish, you cannot request Charlie at Utah Valley with this short of a time frame. She has no idea. She's not involved in it at all, and she never was involved in it. Maybe back when her and Charlie were driving across California to UC Berkeley and UC Davis to go and speak there, then, you know, it was just her and Charlie and Tyler. Now,
so she's overstating her knowledge and understanding of the way the
yes.
operation works.
Absolutely. Like, when Charlie was coming to the events all over the place, like, Charlie's supposed to go to Grand Forks, and, you know, Charlie had way too many things going on for him to be like, okay, people at Grand Forks, email me back and tell me what are the updates, what do you need from me, because that was my job. I did that. Charlie showed up and did his thing, and we made sure when Charlie got there, that's all he had to do is show up and perform. And then and Candace is like, that is impossible. Utah Valley University cannot do this, this, and this. She has no idea because she never did it.
So how long does it take to get something scheduled?
I started conversations with UND and University of Minnesota in July, and then by September, everything was locked down for both.
So like 4 or 5 months?
No. July, August. No, like 3 months. Less than that. Two months. I'm starting one right now for a school in the Midwest, and, you know, I just started conversations with it like on Monday of this week. I could be done with it as long as they respond quick and I respond quick and I get them all the shit they need quickly. I could get this event planned in a month.
Okay.
Maybe less than that.
So do you know why Candace has become so popular with what she's saying?
I mean, yeah, she's asking a lot of questions, and I'm a big question asker. You guys know I love conspiracies as much as anyone. I very much believe that what we're being fed is most of the time not the full truth. But when it comes to Candace and all of these things she's doing, I mean,
do you believe that Tyler Robinson is the sole single shooter that killed Charlie Kirk?
I think that
with a 30-06.
You know, the last part, what you said, that is the number one thing that I don't know if I can get behind is the 30-06. But But
How about the video
Because
evidence of him jumping off the building?
well, okay, it's important before we even get to that. I don't think a 30-06 was probably what killed him, because I've seen a 30-06 in a deer, you know, in the neck or the shoulder of a deer. I've seen it. That's where it does. And after that, I'm almost not even like,
That's a crazy piece of the puzzle to get wrong, though.
That's what
or
I'm
for
saying.
people not to be able
That's
to
what I'm saying.
identify forensics, you know, specialists, doctors, fucking, you know, police, FBI, CIA, whoever has been involved and looked at this. That's a weird thing for everyone to get wrong, though, don't you think? To be like, it was a 30-06 with great certainty.
It could have been.
And he had a magic bone. He saved lives because he was so
Here's the
close to
issue,
God.
though.
You know,
Here's
it's
the
like,
issue.
what?
Andrew Kovac is the one that came out right away and said that Charlie's bones were so strong. The surgeon said that it was a man of steel. Turns out the surgeon didn't say that. And he said that this bullet is most likely a fragmented bullet where it just disintegrates upon impact. Right? So he didn't say that it was from a 30-06 and Charlie was a man of steel.
Yeah, they said that the
Didn't you say
doctor
he
said
did say
he
that?
made
Did not.
one last act of
The surgeon
kindness and
did
saved
not.
lives of the people behind him by
I have
stopping
heard
it.
that, and I'll just be honest.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
that just doesn't make sense in my mind.
Okay.
Like, if I shot Dion, I know Dion's a big muscly guy and runs on the treadmill. I don't believe that his body would stop that. I don't believe anyone's body would
Mine
stop
probably
So-
would.
so-
though.
Yours might. Yours actually might. But
Definitely
I
not
know-
Cody's, but Dion's for sure.
yeah.
I know you being a part of that organization, of course you're going to defend it to your very last breath. But what she's talking about is going after these people that are clearly lying, right? Mikey McCoy was standing off to the side, and somehow when Charlie got hit, he fucking turned around and just started walking the other direction right away. Hello, excuse me. If you guys were fucking hit, that's the last thing I'm going to do is just turn around and fucking casually walk away like I'm talking on the phone. I got to call Erika. I got to tell her that he was just hit in the fucking neck. Like,
Yeah,
that
you don't
doesn't
even
make
know the
any fucking
details
sense.
of what happened yet.
And then you got that Blake Neff guy completely fucking telling the wrong story. Like, and none of the shit that he said fucking makes sense. Then you got fucking Terrell Farnsworth turning around and going up on the little fucking hill there and live streaming himself immediately after Charlie Kirk got hit, saying, guys, they just shot Charlie Kirk. It's like, that guy was supposed to be his friend too. Why the fuck is he going on live and telling everybody that he was just fucking shot? That doesn't make sense. If I'm your fucking friend, I'm a distraught motherfucker trying to save your life. I'm on the ground too. And then you got
all three
Brian
of those
Harpool.
people bailed on it.
You got Brian Harpool, his head of security, going on Sean Ryan, clearly fucking lying about everything that he's saying too.
Threatening.
And saying like, oh yeah, we couldn't get drones in the air because the security wouldn't let us.
does that not make sense though? That the local law enforcement wouldn't let them have drones. In
Then
there?
why wouldn't the local law enforcement? Why would you ask them to
But wasn't
assist?
there a drone?
I don't know.
There was drones.
There was, yeah.
drones. But why wouldn't you get the local law enforcement to assist then? And then why wouldn't you say, hey, can you guys help us with this back entrance? And them saying, I got you. But didn't follow up with that. Like, okay, Trump was just shot in the fucking head by somebody's sniper on a roof because this guy got on the roof. And you're going to ask the local law enforcement if you can get assistance. They said, I got you. But you don't know what he means by I got you. If I'm getting paid millions of dollars, you better be fucking believe I'm going to be up on that roof, or one of my guys is going to be up there making sure that there's nobody on that fucking roof. Right? So that guy doesn't make sense, right?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that she's not attacking you guys. She's attacking these people that are clearly lying about stuff that happened that day. And they have no fucking excuse.
And she's running
Andrew
a podcast
Kovac keeps
with them.
fucking burying himself in everything that he's saying. He comes up with excuse after excuse, and it's just not making sense. And that's where, like, especially with the fucking whole 30-06 thing, the FBI is clearly lying. They've been lying. They're the most corrupt three-letter agencies besides the CIA, right? We've known that for decades. Kash Patel is in way over his head. But somebody is fucking lying about this Tyler Robinson guy. I'm not saying that he wasn't involved. He probably more than likely was involved in some facet. But there's a lot more questions about what actually happened that day. And we're not getting the answers, and I don't think that we will. Honestly, I think that fucking court case is going to be a kangaroo court. They'll probably nail that motherfucker to the wall just like they did Lee Harvey Oswald, and this is what they're going to be. That's it. We're done. We got our guy.
Well, I think that once again, you said a lot there. That when it comes to the security team that was there, I do believe that they asked for local law enforcement. I do believe that, and that they said that they couldn't get a drone there. Also, there was a walkway above where Charlie was sitting. So when it came to making sure like the higher up points were covered, I know they had people who were monitoring that like crazy.
So they never saw someone on a roof?
Well, I think they were sitting like looking at it to make sure nothing, like they had something set off, I think, or something set up so like nobody could go up there and throw shit down because it was like a walkway. So no, it's just shit like that. And when you're talking about immediate threats, and I don't know if I really like Brian Harpool or not. I don't actually know him, but that podcast, I don't think it was a good idea.
That venue, I get what you're saying about like scheduling of places, but it just seemed like it was so easy for anybody to get in there, and they weren't checked. There was no tickets or nothing. Anybody could have just showed up.
The outdoor events, there's never been, except one time. Well, actually, maybe twice, but I know for sure one time because it happened this last year. There was an event at somewhere in California, in Northern California. I can't remember what school. Maybe UC. It might have been UC Berkeley. Charlie did an outdoor event there, and that was the first event that I actually know of. It might have happened before, or definitely didn't happen after, where they had like security checking bags, because it was at UC Berkeley, a crazy hostile school to Charlie and everybody. So they had bag checks, and it stopped a lot of people from getting in. Some people were like refused to get their bags checked and just stayed outside and couldn't even come in. So what were they planning on doing? I don't know. So probably something crazy. But back to that Brian Harpool, and Brian, I believe, was a like contracted out guy. So he's not like the Turning Point head of security guy. He's like a contracted out guy.
I thought he was Charlie's head of security.
No, he was head of security that day, because they contract out like of different.
Every publication has said that they were best friends of X amount of years.
Brian and Charlie?
Yeah.
I've never seen that. You guys might be thinking of a different head security guy that I know his name.
Which one is Brian in the video that is so famous right now?
He's the one that was on Sean Ryan. He was the one on Sean Ryan.
Oh, okay, that guy. Yeah, no, that's not who I'm
Yeah, you're thinking of a different guy. The guy you're thinking of, him and Charlie, to my knowledge, were friends.
Okay.
And I'd seen him many, many times, and
that's the guy that they're speculating was the guy at Trump's inauguration when they tried to attempt
Butler.
Butler. They're trying to act like that's one of the Secret Service agent guys. They keep showing like side by sides.
Yeah, I've never seen that, and there's just no way.
But Brian Harpool was the guy in charge of. I mean,
he was in charge of security that day. Yes.
Yeah.
While Charlie has a personal, I don't even know I can't think of his title. Chief of security for easy words. But he's been with Charlie for a very long time. He's the guy who stands behind Charlie in every single video. You've seen him a lot if you've watched Charlie's videos. His job, he's monitoring threats, and there's 3,000 threats in front of him. 3,000 students, adults, everybody in the crowd. So, I mean, his first thought is not to check from where he's at, standing next to Charlie. He's protecting Charlie. He's not checking a roof 200 yards away when he's standing next to Charlie, watching 3,000 people in front of him. And I understand a roof should be checked. They should have been checked.
That's what I'm saying. They should have had somebody up there.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're paying somebody millions of dollars to assess a situation, that's their job, Dalton. These guys are like ex-military. They know exactly where the threat or where something's going to be coming from.
Well, I agree. There should have been more done that day. But also, I'm not blaming Charlie's security guy who's always with him. I'm not blaming Brian Harpool. What I'm saying is they tried to get people to go on these roofs. They tried to work with local law enforcement, and it just didn't happen.
I know, but he didn't follow up. He didn't follow up at all. He just said that the sheriff said, "I got you," but it was up to Brian Harpool to say, "Hey, okay, what does that mean? Does that mean you're going to have a guy up there, or does that mean that we're going to have a guy up there?" There was no follow up. He showed the text to Sean on his podcast.
Yeah, I watched the
podcast. So I'm saying, like, a guy that gets paid that much money who's ex-military is supposed to know these kind of things. Like, you put his life in your hands, and clearly it was either a fail or intended failure.
Well, no, I don't see. I do not buy, and I don't think I could. I mean, I'd have to see like definitive 100%, no AI evidence in front of me that they were even involved, like 1%, because I don't believe at all that Charlie's security team. I've seen like all the angles and they say there he's doing this, he was doing that. I've seen all of it. It's all bullshit. Like I've seen it all. None of it makes any sense. And, there's just no.
Yeah, they're doing fucking pitching and catcher signals.
Yeah, I've seen all the videos analyzing all of that, and none of them actually say anything. None of them get anywhere. And with Brian and the security team, I know some of the guys on the security team, they were just with another speaker in Amfest because obviously they weren't following Charlie around, so they were with another speaker. And just seeing those guys was like, I've seen it at multiple events with Turning Point in Montana and in Minneapolis and Arizona. So it was good to see him. Like those guys, I feel really, really bad for because they were involved. They were there that day. So when it comes to Charlie's security and the security who is, at our events to protect us, I trust them. I do trust them. I've talked with a lot of them. They're super nice guys. Some of them got families and some of them, some of them are really young still. I got a couple that come to mind that like they're super, super young. And this is something that affects your entire life and your entire work career because how, it could be tough.
Yeah, I'm not saying that all of them are involved, but I've certainly got questions. I wonder, like, when you watch the video of them carrying his body to the car, none of them have any blood on their hands. They clearly didn't try to stop the blood from gushing at his head.
Well, their hands are like on his body, so I don't think you would even see the blood anyway. Because if the blood was coming out of right here,
his neck,
they put their hands on him. They're holding him like their hands are on his body. So if I had blood on my hands, it's right there. So you're not going to see the blood on my hands anyway.
You'd be covered in blood. It's spurting out of his neck.
You saw the video where the blood was clearly coming out of his neck.
Yeah.
So you just think between then and
they were there in
the
a second. They were there in a second.
I know. So you think it was like magic eraser blood, like
covered in blood if they were trying to assist him?
Yes, you would. I would think that, but also you saw the blood come out. It wasn't an AI video, so like you think the blood just disappeared?
No, I'm saying that they didn't try to fucking help him. That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying he bled out completely within 14 seconds before he got shot got to the car. There's no blood left.
I thought that somebody said.
Yeah, that's definitely possible.
No, I thought someone posted that they wrapped like T-shirts or something around his neck or towels to try to compress, the wound area to stop the blood from coming out.
It didn't seem like that.
If they in fact did that, then he would not have a lot of blood all over the place.
There are like pictures and videos of his table and the setup there and blood all over it. I've seen pictures. He was sitting like a.
Yeah, I'm saying they are not covered in blood.
I mean, it's weird that's the one thing you're like, I want them to be covered in blood.
Also, he was dead. I don't think there was like a saving him.
Still fucking trying to save that person. If I get paid millions of dollars to try to save somebody,
but
I'm going to fucking try to save them.
He was dead.
I don't care, Dion.
But I don't think anybody assessed that within a matter of seconds.
You don't know that.
When I watched the video, I was like,
doesn't matter,
dead.
Dion.
Yeah, but you saw it in a video. They saw it from behind and live, and within seconds they were on top of him and running him out.
It took I think it was 1.4 seconds they had a guy on top of him.
Yeah.
And I mean, Dion, if you're doing security, like if someone close to you died, you're like, oh shit, well they're dead.
He's
I'm not
dead.
Gonna help.
I'm not going to fucking put my hands on him.
Walk away.
Hey, I'm just saying he was dead right away.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think he was alive for 1.4 seconds. I think he died relatively
I think
quick.
they said in the car he was alive.
He was.
That's what they said in the messages when it happened, when we were looking. I don't think that was true. I think that was false information.
Well, I mean,
that's what you heard, but I'm telling you, I don't think he was alive.
I'm certain.
When by the time they got to his body, I think he definitely was his heart was still beating. He was definitely still alive because it took I think it was 1.4 seconds to get to his body, maybe even less than that. And immediately, like you've said, these guys are experts. They're going right to the hole and they're trying to do what they can. And I think he got to the car within 14, 15 seconds. It was like that. So I
like I said,
it doesn't even matter.
It's either sheer fucking stupidity or something that what happened with Brian Harpool and not doing his job. But I do have questions about that. The other thing, what is your opinion on Terrell going on live extremely right after he was hit?
I didn't even know who that was until everyone started talking about him. I still don't really know who he is. He's like the brother of somebody who was there. Is that true? Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. I really don't even know who that is. I couldn't pick him out of the crowd. I don't know what he does. People say he's why is Charlie's best friend doing a live? And I've literally never heard of this guy. He's Charlie just got shot. And I'm I don't know who this guy is. So I don't have a lot of thoughts there. The video is definitely weird, but to me, I don't know him. I don't know what he does. I don't know.
Okay, how about Mikey?
Mikey walking away. I think that his initial thought was there are more bullets coming,
So let me casually turn around and stroll. That's the video.
I know. I've seen the video of him
Okay.
getting out of there. I think it was immediately him just getting on the phone and, you know, I don't think there's too much crazy there. Mikey is like the same age as I am. Like, I think he's even, I think I'm older than Mikey. I don't believe that he is complicit in anything at all. I think he
You don't think his dad is shady as fuck too?
is what? Oh, shady. Rob.
Something about covering for pedophile or something like that.
I mean, if that happened, that's not good. Same thing like
Yeah.
if Trump touched children with Epstein, that's not good. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know that much about Rob McCoy's background and anything like that. I know he was Charlie's pastor, and that's how Charlie met Mikey. And then Charlie thought Mikey was just an absolute all-star, convinced him not to go to college and convinced him to come work with him right away. And Mikey's made a very good career out of it, and he does a good job.
What does he do exactly?
He's the chief of staff, so he's working on like I don't even know what he all does. But every time I've seen him at events, he's flying around, he's on the phone, he's talking to people. Like everyone's trying to get a hold of him, everyone's trying to talk to him. He's a very, very busy guy, very young guy, and I don't think he has any involvement at all. You see these people walk around, and I mean I've never talked to Mikey.
Somebody's involved. Somebody's complicit. Because if it wasn't Tyler Robinson, somebody's fucking involved.
Well, maybe, have you ever thought maybe it just is that simple? Maybe it was Tyler Robinson. Like how long?
How could it be
There's no
Tyler
evidence
Robinson
to
if
back
you
that,
sell me
though.
that 30-06 bullshit?
How long did you guys think it was just Tyler Robinson? You know,
I never did.
Not for a
These
second.
guys did it. I told these guys when they first said that, I was like, I needed somebody to hate, so I accepted it at first. But then when I saw the videos, I was like, okay, it's bullshit.
I don't think that I accepted it right away. I think I was like, no, this isn't real. And then, the more I've seen, I think I've almost been like, okay, I can see this because that shot, you can make that shot. I can make that shot.
Anybody can make a shot, but it's
not
not
everybody
coming
can
from
make that
fucking
shot.
30-06, dude.
Not everybody can make that shot.
Okay,
That's
hold
not-
on. I'm telling you, that shot was placed exactly where it was meant to be. Whether it was a bullet or a projectile, it was placed exactly where it needed to be.
Okay, if he moved like a quarter centimeter, he would have like same thing with Trump. He might have survived because it just would have grazed his neck. Because it's not like it went through his neck in the middle. Like it hit him on the side.
We went this way, right here,
Yeah.
in the jugular.
Yeah.
Right? So
And Charlie is known, so he's like drinking water. He's moving around. He's talking to people,
but
throwing hats.
clearly, if that was Tyler Robinson who doesn't shoot or has not shot, he's aiming fucking center mass right at his chest. So he just so happened to hit him up here.
I mean, I've shot a deer on accident, hit him in the leg, and had to shoot him again in the head to kill him.
You're a piece of shit.
I felt bad
Just
about it. But I mean, you tell me you've never
Was
whether
it 30-06, of course, right?
it might have been actually.
Yeah, he
I don't
blew
know,
his
it's my
leg
dad's-
off.
It was my dad's rifle. Yeah, I mean, his leg was
Okay.
Yes. I hit him in the shoulder. Shoulder was destroyed.
It is
'cause
not
I
that
missed.
simple.
It was a high
It is
pressure
not that
shot. I
simple.
missed.
When you add up all of these indiscrepancies, when you add them all up, eventually you're going to have to be like, okay, I kind of sound retarded if I think that Tyler Robinson is the lone shooter here. This 20-some-year-old kid that just so happened to know where to fucking be, where Charlie's going to be sitting. Here, I'm going to get my 30-06 up there.
Okay, once they say the venue, you just you could have figured out where he was going to sit.
They didn't
Once
have
you
the
see
video of him
venue-
up there scoping it out. Like, where do I need to lay down? Where do I
I
going
don't
to?
know. Is that a video that's out there?
No, it's not.
Well, how would that be?
They
a
got
video
the
then?
video of supposedly of him that morning.
like walking.
Yeah, except he changed his clothes twice. Right? That's weird. Put on the same clothes he had before. And then the screwdriver.
there's a
thing,
lot of really weird
They
things,
found a
I mean.
screwdriver on the roof of his DNA. They find this gun just laying in the bushes, and then these bullets that have this shit written on them. Hey, if you read this, you're gay. Somehow etched tiny as fuck on these bullets.
That's
Where the fuck is the boyfriend? I'm supposed to believe that this is a furry boyfriend. Where the fuck did he go? He ain't around.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
the biggest thing.
Okay, now the big thing comes out.
Well, they claim that he admitted it, right? That's what they claim.
You're saying Tyler
That
admitted
there's a body cam footage of it.
I
Actually,
don't
there's
know.
not. They don't have it.
I didn't
They
know
lost
that.
that.
You're teaching me things right now, and if it doesn't,
They lost
exist,
it.
If it doesn't exist anyway,
The
then
local
it never
news
existed.
in Utah reported that they asked for it. They FOIA'd it,
Mhm.
and the police department said they no longer have it of that self-admittal body cam footage.
Well, it's not the first time tapes have been.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
God
they
dang
didn't
it. All
exist.
these are just coincidences, Dalton. I swear to God, nobody's involved. Tyler's the only shooter. There wasn't 13 Israeli cell phones pinged at that area at that time either. There
Okay,
wasn't.
well, Charlie, I know what your guys' thoughts on Israel, but Charlie was massive in the Jewish community. They loved him.
He was.
So if there was any Jews in
Utah,
they were there, all of them.
Yeah.
People travel hours and hours and hours for these events. So,
sure.
if there was any Jews around Utah Valley, they were there.
It just so happened to be on the day that he was assassinated.
That's the day he happened to be speaking there, dumb nuts.
Yeah.
What other day would he be there? Why would he be there
Right.
the day before, the day after?
I wonder how many are at his events all the time.
If Charlie went to Lincoln,
So
Nebraska,
you don't
there's
think
probably Jews there too.
you don't think it's strange where he says I'm going to abandon the Jewish movement or
I don't know if
the
he
pro
said I'm gonna
abandon the
abandon.
pro-Israel
I don't think
movement.
he said I'm going
He
to
did say
abandon
that. That is proven. He did say that. So
No,
I'm going
I
to
don't think
abandon. I'm going to abandon the pro-Israel movement.
The group
Right?
chat that I
And
think
then he
you're getting
fucking
that
gets
from, there was
assassinated.
literally a Jew
Not only
in that
that
group chat.
but what that Harrison Smith guy said in
the Viking
August.
safety.
Said in August, he's like, I don't know who I can't tell you who told me, but somebody told me that Charlie believes that Israel's going to assassinate him. And that happened in fucking August.
Okay, anybody who has zero credibility could come out and say anything, and at this point, it looks like you'd buy it.
What do you mean?
Some guy
he said that a month before he was shot in the fucking
Some guy
neck.
could come up to you at the gym tomorrow and said, Charlie told me September 9th that he was going to get shot from a roof tomorrow. And then you'd be like, you see? Somebody said they knew before it happened.
But he said that prior to him.
Who is this guy? Harrison Smith.
Yeah, he works for fucking InfoWars.
I don't even know what that is. I don't believe it.
So he said it in August. That was a tweet. I've seen the tweet. I remember it being shared back in August.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie gets assassinated. People are questioning him like, who is your source? Who is your source? And he just came out and said that somebody in the FBI had reached out to him asking him who his source is.
Probably because it wasn't a credible one. He probably just said that.
He just said, "Oh, I don't know who's going to I don't know who told me, but somebody said
he tweeted this in August.
Yes.
He tweeted that Charlie told me somebody from
Not told me. He said, someone close to Charlie told me that Charlie believes Israel is going to kill him.
At that time, Charlie, I don't know. Okay, well, you mentioned that there
More
was
than
a text.
likely after that Hamptons meeting that everybody keeps talking about.
See, also I hear the Hamptons a lot. I don't know what happened there. I don't know anything.
They had a sit down with Charlie and basically told him to get in order or else. And then one thing led to another. And finally he said, I'm done with this bullshit. I'm not going to be bullied.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got assassinated.
So you think Israel's behind the whole thing?
I would say they may or may not be a part of it. Not just them. I think there's other entities involved. But what I will say is if Charlie was going to, let's say, step away from the pro-Israel movement, he's obviously the biggest voice for Gen Z. Mm-hmm. And Israel's support is hemorrhaging left and right. And if he did not have Charlie as the voice for being pro-Israel, they really don't have any support anymore.
Well,
And I'm not saying that's the only reason why if they were to assassinate him, but I do believe that there was people that wanted him dead, and I don't think that it was Tyler Robinson that pulled the trigger.
Well, I mean, I agree. There's people who want him dead. There's people who want me dead. There's people who see this.
Okay, now you're
on YouTube
that's
and want all you
semantics,
guys
though.
dead.
We're playing semantics. I'm saying is that Tyler Robinson is not the person that pulled the trigger. I think there was bigger things involved that wanted to take Charlie out.
See, I said
the
this. I
picture.
mentioned this to you earlier. I think if you're going to say one thing is false, you have to have something else that you know is true. And we just, you don't have anything else. So you're telling me like this did happen. You're just saying Charlie did not get killed by Tyler Robinson, but I don't know who else did it. When right now the only evidence we have towards anything at all that's tangible.
Okay, I can ask you the same thing.
is-
Do you believe that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk with a 30-06?
Well,
Because that's what the FBI's told us.
Mhm.
So either you go with the FBI official narrative or you don't.
I don't trust the FBI at all.
So you can't
Not
go
even
with
a
their
little bit.
narrative then.
Well, I'm going with right now the only thing that makes any You know, the only
Sense?
thing.
It doesn't though.
Yeah, I didn't even say that.
Okay.
You were gonna say that.
I didn't even say that. The only thing on paper that looks like it could have happened is.
But even that
Tyler
doesn't
Robinson
look that
did
way.
I mean, when you have no other options and nothing else is happening.
How are we supposed to get other options if the FBI is going with this narrative and they're not pursuing any other narratives? Like, no, this is our guy. Here's our evidence. Shut the fuck up. Quit asking questions. That's what I'm saying.
I think Tyler Robinson did do it. I don't think it was a 30-6 though. And you mentioned that's a really important thing that you wouldn't want to mess up. You know,
Especially with all the people that are involved, it's odd for them to get that part wrong.
Yeah.
Because then it's got to fit the description of the weapon and the weapon that we saw.
Well, it didn't look like a old bolt action rifle you get from like Target.
It was his grandpa's gun.
It looked shitty.
It
looked really shitty.
It was a Cold War gun. That's how old it was.
Plus the breaking down of the gun, the changing of the clothes, the re-putting the gun together, all that he didn't have time to do. Like,
Okay,
there's no
I think-
real evidence that says he did it beyond the FBI saying, yeah, it
Did
was
the
him.
FBI say that he took the gun apart, then put it back together?
Yes,
And then
that's
changed
what Cash
clothes?
Patel said at the press
Okay,
conference.
well, that's clearly just retarded. Like
He
that,
left
this is a dumb
the
story.
screwdriver on the roof, he said. He's like, they found the fucking screwdriver on the roof. But then
Then they found the gun
Reassembled.
reassembled
in the trees or in the
where he
bushes or
yeah.
something.
So like none of that. There is no actual evidence that says it's him. There's evidence they're trying to use to say it was him, but the common person can look at that evidence and be like, no, that doesn't add up.
Well, I'll say I don't trust the FBI. I think I don't
Right.
really like Cash Patel that much. I do think that Tyler was, you know, the main culprit, and so far the only culprit. But I like I said, I don't think 30-6 was used. And when you get into the stories of, like, I wonder who is telling Cash.
But they're
Patel
saying he
all these
wrote on the
different-
bullets, and those were all 30-06 bullets.
I don't know. I don't see. I don't know. Maybe they didn't have the.
So there's
bullets
no
they wanted.
evidence.
And the text message, you believe that was like legit? Like they were actually, he was
Even
actually
AI calls that fake.
No, AI is not real.
Okay, but do you believe the texts were real though? Like he was actually texting that to his lover.
I think a lot of things were fabricated by the
Hello, my love.
FBI, but that's no one.
I
Talks
feel like
that.
we're getting into the weeds about nothing at the moment here.
no, he's saying that he wants concrete proof that it wasn't Tyler Robinson. What we're trying to say is the proof that they're saying is bullshit.
Yeah, but we know that we're all agreeing that the FBI is putting out
So it
misinformation.
couldn't be Tyler Robinson.
No, it could
I'm
be.
not saying that. I'm saying I don't trust the FBI. What the FBI said sounds like a made up story from a bunch
Right.
of old people.
Do you know what this
But
sounds like?
but this is Turning Point's consensus.
Yeah.
Turning Point as a leadership,
Not just them, but
with Erika Kirk and all the leadership of Turning Point, they're all trying to tell us, and that's what the topic is today, is
Yeah, it is.
about Turning Point.
They're saying it was Tyler Robinson.
Yes,
I mean, that's all
they
we have.
agree
We
that
want-
it is.
Well, I mean,
But you're telling me these people don't see what we see? They're the closest people to Charlie, and they're just going to accept all of this bullshit nonsense that has no evidence to back it beyond the FBI saying so. These people are just like, okay, fine, you're right, it is him.
you said earlier, and I don't know if this actually happened, but I'm gonna take what you said and then we'll compare it to this. That Erika did not tell Candace to stop because she was learning a lot of things as well. So, I mean, I would put that. I would give Turning Point and Erika the same respect where maybe she's learning. I mean, if that's true, maybe people are still learning things and they have literally nothing else to go off of besides Tyler Robinson did it.
Except with that argument, then you would have to say, well, Erika kept her mouth shut while she was learning from Candace Owens. She's not keeping her mouth shut.
I'm not saying that.
about who she thinks she forgave the killer of her husband already. That's
I don't even know if Erika said that with Candace. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what Candace says, and you would think they would rebuttal that. But
Yes.
besides the point, if in fact she's just learning things right now, she shouldn't be coming to a conclusion in her statements like she didn't with Candace. While she was learning from Candace, she said nothing, and that's what got everyone on their fur. Was like, wait a minute, why isn't she rebuttaling? Why isn't she countering? Why isn't she calling to Candace to shut up or do anything? She didn't, and it was because she was being silent and she was learning stuff, supposedly or allegedly. If what your argument is that that's what she may have been doing throughout this, that wouldn't fit because she's been very vocal and forgiving of the already alleged killer.
Well, see, that's where I would question if she even was learning from anybody else at all. Like if maybe there's some things that Candace said that she was like, okay, that's a good angle to think about it, or I didn't think about it from your perspective or from this view. That's probably true. I mean, that likely did happen because I think that Erika is smart enough where she'd be, like, if someone said something that just makes sense, she'd be like, okay. But I don't actually believe that from the time he was killed to, you know, whenever, like, maybe even today, that Erika has given any mind, any time, anything to all the conspiracy. Actually, I just feel like she's 0% chance she has. Given any energy to all the conspiracies, all the crazy things. If it wasn't Tyler, it was Israel. It wasn't Tyler, it was Turning Point. It wasn't Tyler, it was APAC. Like, I don't think that Erika has given the time of day to any of those conspiracies. So, and I do believe that she really does trust Kash Patel. I mean, I think they know each other, you know, personally. So she has reason to trust him, maybe. I don't know him personally. I don't think I trust him, but I also, you know, I don't trust Trump or the government at all. So I just think she hasn't put a second of energy into the conspiracies. So in her mind, you know, what Kash is saying is that's the truth. And I don't believe everything Kash
Even looking at the evidence, you would, when you say you think she's pretty smart enough to see. She said that she's seen the autopsy. Like, she's, you know, she has seen all of that. Sure, but an autopsy versus the evidence of leading up to what caused the autopsy to happen.
But also think this: if there's an autopsy, the autopsy matches what Kash is telling you, then, you know, your husband.
Surely those can't be faked either, though.
Well, you're not going to want to rewatch the video and be like, wait a minute, let's see my husband get killed from this angle and this angle and this angle.
I could see that.
You're just going to be like, okay, well, this guy that my husband trusted, Kash, said this. I'm gonna take it, and I'm never gonna look at it again. I'm never gonna, like, I don't want to hear. I'm not gonna read the Instagram comments. I'm not gonna read the Facebook comments. I don't want to know anymore. Like, I think that might be her angle. She just is not giving energy to all the bullshit, and she's trusting somebody that Charlie really did trust, which was Kash. And that makes sense to me.
So why would they take that SD card out from the camera that was behind Charlie?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't work with cameras.
So here's an interesting question.
I'm just saying,
how come they haven't? How come they haven't debriefed all of you guys on what Turning Point's stance is, what Turning Point's conclusion is, their beliefs, their understandings based on evidence? You know, how come nobody has spoken out to you guys as a team? Like, me as a leader and as an owner of a company, I feel like it would be important for me to go to my team and say, all right, everyone, here's what we know, here's what we don't know, here where things are at. There's a lot of weird information flying around, a lot of conspiracies, a lot of alleged, you know, guilt and all this stuff being spread out right now. We need you guys, because you guys are out there arguing and defending for our belief systems. Here's what you guys need to know to be true right now. That's odd they haven't done that, because as we ask you a lot of these questions, it's fair that you're like, hey, I just don't know factually, but I think it's odd that you don't. As somebody who's in the position you are with Turning Point, I think it's odd that you don't know more, or that they haven't given some kind of response to the teams to say, hey, guys, here's where everyone should stand at Turning Point, and here's what you guys need to understand where we stand, because it's important for you to be able to back our play and to see things the way we see them, and to make a determination if you still stand with us or not. Mm-hmm. But I think all of those things would be important for a leadership team to do to their entire base. So it's odd that they haven't done that. It's odd that you aren't more equipped for these kind of conversations with some more factual things based on what Turning Point has shared with you guys. I think that's strange.
Well, I think that, you know, there are things that, you know, maybe they could share more with us, but there's also, I mean, I manage a team of 6 people. I mean, I've talked to my team about it, and if they have any questions about conspiracies, or someone on my team is like, this is crazy, what do you think about this particular conspiracy? I'll be like, I honestly, like, here's what I think, and I'll tell them what I think. But from, like, the top down, I more so think anybody who is going to full on nose dive into the conspiracies, and if they're going to allow themselves to get wrapped up in it, we don't need them, you know, because we have people who are ready to just move forward and work and do the work Charlie wanted to do. There was a time when Charlie was the first person who set up a table by himself. He colored with a marker on a board that said, you know, Big Gov sucks. Yeah, something like that. And, you know, he did this by himself, no camera, nothing, just Charlie. And people were like, who's this idiot doing this? And look what it turned into. So if we have people who are refusing to go back onto campus and do the work because they're like, Candace said this. I saw Nick Fuentes said, actually, Nick is in a weird stance on it. He's like, doesn't think Israel's involved at all. But you think he'd be the first person to think Israel's involved because he sucks.
He's a Fed, though, so he wouldn't.
He is a Fed. But if I have someone,
he's
on
a
my team,
funny fed, but all right.
he says some funny stuff. But if you have if someone on my team is like, no, I'm not going back to campus today because Candace said this, and I really think we need to do a deep dive into this, and I think Erika needs to answer for this, I would say, listen, Erika is my boss. She is your boss. She's my boss's boss. She doesn't owe you an answer to this. If you really are going to get sucked into the Candace Owens rabbit hole and you don't want to work for us anymore, that is fine. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of applications or applicants. If I don't have an open position right now, but if I did, it would take me weeks to go through all the apps and all the interviews because that's how many people want to work for us right now. So if my representative in Minnesota is like, Dalton, I can't go out there. I need the answers for Charlie and what happened. I'd be like, well, I'm sorry, we don't have time for you to get the answers you want because we're doing the work that Charlie started and Charlie wants to do. There's the door. I'll give you a good reference.
I think that's a really big hole in your guys' game if that's the way you view that.
That's the way I look at it. If someone on my team is they cannot work.
I don't think it's a matter of them not wanting to work or not understanding. I think it's a matter of the leadership team saying, hey, this is where we stand. Go ahead and choose your side now, but you need to understand as Turning Point stands, this is where it's like during the COVID thing, right? When everyone was like, oh my God, people were dying, people were doing this, and they were shutting down business, they shut down my gym. I took a heavy stance and I said, this is where we stand. To our members and to our staff and to everybody, I'm gonna make sure you guys still get paid. And to my sponsorship team, I'm gonna make sure you guys still have a fucking gym to train in. Here's where I stand with COVID. I don't believe in it. I think it's bullshit. I don't believe in the distancing. I don't believe in the mask. I don't believe in checking your temperatures every time you come in the gym. However, those things have been supplied by the government, and so we have them if you need them. But our stance is X. If you do not like that, you do not have to be here. That's the way I would approach it. That's the way I have approached situations in contextual similarity to something like this.
Well, you added, if you don't like it, you don't have to be there.
Correct.
You don't have to be here. And that's.
But I gave them our understanding and our position. I didn't just say, hey, be careful of what you say. I let it be clear out the gate. And I just feel like, and this is just my personal feeling, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like from a Turning Point standpoint, with how big and vast they are and with how many people are out there, and they're all just left out to the world of conspiracies and the internet and all the shit talking and all the lies and all the smearing that goes on and all that stuff, I think it would be, and I think most people in leadership positions who understand how leading adults, leading teams and all that shit works, is you have to make sure everyone understands where you as a team are positioned and whether people still want to be a part of that team. Not just be like, hey, believe what you want, but if we catch you believing the wrong shit, you're out.
Well, what do you want them to believe, I guess? I don't really understand.
It's not that I want them to believe anything. I want them to know what Turning Point stands for still, because that is their objective. Their objective is to go out there and represent Turning Point and their belief systems. You debate based on what your belief system is, right? So Turning Point wouldn't have hired people to work for Kamala Harris. They wouldn't have let people who were voting, trying to veer people to vote for Joe Biden and the Democratic Party go out there and defend and argue. So they make it very clear what their position is in regards to the circumstances.
What's changed from Charlie being here to Charlie not being here? They're still doing the same exact thing.
The conspiracies, the assassination, the lack of understanding, evidence,
even
and
before
knowledge.
Charlie was killed, there was every single day. It was I literally had been told on campus in Chicago, University of Illinois, Chicago. They came up to the table and they were talking about some stuff, and then they started saying you guys, you're paid for by Israel, you're bought by Israel, check who pays you. And I'm like, all right, have a good day. People have been coming at us.
And Charlie answered that question too eventually.
Maybe, yeah.
He let it be known where he stood and what he was starting to see because of the pressure from the people. So now you're getting pressure from people again, and you're still not doing Charlie's work then if you're avoiding giving the answers. Charlie considered those people's thoughts.
Charlie didn't give time to trolls though.
Right, who's trolling?
I mean, the kids who were coming up and they were like,
I know, but within your
Jews,
campus,
Israel,
that's separate from what I'm asking.
He would
though.
debate him. There's plenty of videos of him debating.
There's plenty of videos of people coming up saying crazy shit. He was like, all right, next.
I agree, especially on the topic of Israel in the beginning. I have video proof of that where he was like, all right, I'm not going to discuss this. Let's move on. When people asked him about, the belief system of the Jews against Christians and whatnot, I've seen that and I was like, whoa, that's weird. I know I've sent it to all of you. And I was like, that's not Charlie.
And I was like, oh,
that's not Charlie.
So,
but to the point, eventually Charlie came around and said, okay, something is up here. And the speculation is now this moment that he did that, everyone's like, that's what got him killed. Because he questioned it. He was avoiding it because he didn't believe it at first, but then he showed his true self by being, okay, wait a minute, I'm seeing evidence, surmounting evidence. Something doesn't add up. Let's talk about it. And then he got vocal about it, and he let people come on to his stage and talk about it. That got him under fire. He went on his podcast and reiterated that something doesn't feel right, and he doesn't want to participate in that whole process with Israel. So from the standpoint of all of that, I think, and then just understanding leadership, bro. I've taken adult learning theory. I've traveled the world training people of all different, brain patterns and age groups and maturity levels. So I had to study adult learning theory. It was something that was taught to me by a Fortune 500 company traveling the world training people. You have to communicate. You can't just leave everyone out there to their own vices, especially with a company that's as big as Turning Point. So in my opinion, based on my understanding of that kind of high level communication, and based on history, the way Charlie ran the company, it would be in their best interest to iterate to all of you guys where they stand with all of this and what Turning Point's belief system is.
Well, it's pretty clear where we stand. I don't
think it is.
Tyler Robinson killed him. We're still doing the events. Our goal is still grassroots conservatism. Like I said at the beginning, like nothing has changed for me. And besides, we're just way busier. We have way more people who want to talk to us, want to email us, want to text us, and it's just.
But there's a lot of things Turning Point won't allow their teams to go out and discuss right now.
Well, also because think about it, if every single person were just going out and they were like, we think like we stand with Candace, it's just a bad look. So like,
sure. So they have to let you guys know where they stand with that kind of stuff, right?
Well, it's just pretty common sense when you're in a company built by Charlie, and now his wife is talking about how we're going to continue to work for Charlie. Those who want to get pulled back, and when the train is moving and you want to jump off because you love Candace so much, we'll see you later. Like, bye.
Do you think Charlie would have handled it that way, with the way he loved Candace? Or do you think that he truly loved her the way she states he does?
It's hard to, if Charlie would have handled it with Candace the way, and it's not like we're doing that though. Like if somebody is like, I love Candace and I'm getting fired. Like I know people who love Candace, and I know people who are like, when I talk with people around the company weekly on the phone, I'm a very social person within the company. And some people are like, this doesn't make sense. And some people are like,
that's good to know that that's within the company.
Yeah, I mean,
and then that changes my perspective.
No
then that means
Turning
Point's allowing it to go on. They're allowing people to question narratives and have their own opinions and understandings. And I think that's fair too. Then,
I know that
that's a good rebuttal.
Higher ups, I mean, who because I've heard them mention this. They're like, we see what you guys like on Instagram. Like we know. Because it's out there. Like if I go on there and just start every time Nick Fuentes says he hated Charlie, I just start liking that shit. Then everyone will be like, "Damn, Dalton, we need to look into him and see what his quality of work is." Because he's, maybe he doesn't love us as much as he thought or he says he did. So I'm just saying, like,
or coming on this podcast,
or this,
they'd be like, "You fucks with those lames."
Yeah, that too. But like, our stance is not if you're pro Candace, if you like Nick, you're gone. But if you are going to allow that to consume you, and you can't do the work we need to go forward, and every time you talk to a student, that student texts me because I used to work with them, or they'll text me because I know I'm the manager in the Midwest, and they'll be like, hey, we were trying to talk about conservative values and Charlie, and your representative, all they did was say, like, do you think Tyler Robinson did it? Do you think it was a magic bullet? Like, no, if our team are going to do that, it's not because they disagree with the narrative. It's because they're not helping push the mission along, that we're just going to get rid of them. We're just going to let them go because they're damaging what we're trying to do, which is just push grassroots conservative values and just teach that and do events. And if you can't help us do that, then unfortunately your time is probably up, because that has always been the goal.
Okay. I'll let you guys, if you want to have a final say in something too, but otherwise I'll let you close it out after this, Dalton, and just kind of give us your high level statement and understanding about what Turning Point's up to, where things are at right now, and how everything looks and feels for you as an employee of them. But at this stage, at this level, based on all the speculation that's out there on what could have happened and what couldn't have happened, I find it strange that they would just let it go the way that they have, when that's not the way Charlie handled things. I think if we're doing Charlie's work, we got to truly do Charlie's work, right? And that's one thing that you use for your argument here, is that, we're still doing Charlie's work. But Charlie didn't avoid confrontation. He didn't avoid hard things like this. He spoke his mind very clearly, and he made sure people understood where he was standing in his belief systems. That was the work that he's famous for. He was very good at making things clear from his standpoint, from his belief system. And he was really good at getting people to see it that way. He framed things in a way like most people couldn't. He was a master debater, bro, like without a doubt. And so I feel like if we're going to claim that Turning Point is still doing Charlie's work, they're leaving big holes in their game right now by avoiding a lot of these topics, because I don't think it's just a matter of, oh my God, you guys are being crazy conspiracy theorists, because in order to do that, you have to be able to prove that there's no evidence to allow you to be a conspiracy theorist. But it's actually quite the opposite. The evidence very strongly points towards, and therefore I think people at Turning Point are way smarter than they're acting. They know and see clearly the evidence isn't factual, it isn't real, isn't legit. They've all misspoken and said things out of turn a bunch of times. Nobody's clearing the air on any of those things. They're just continuing to try to push forward and act like you're a bunch of idiots, you're a bunch of nobodies, and it doesn't matter what you say. We're just going to keep doing what we do because we don't care. I don't think Charlie handled things that way. I don't think that's the way Charlie worked at all, based on the evidence we've seen in tens of thousands of videos that we've watched on the internet over the years while Charlie was doing his thing. And then the belief system that Charlie left us with, which was, okay, wait a minute, I'm open-minded here too. Something doesn't seem right. The people that he debated started making him question his own understanding about his position on Israel. And so it's weird that Turning Point has such a strong stance in silence as opposed to speaking, which was 100% what Charlie's legacy was about. Mm-hmm. So that's what I have to say in closing. I would love to have you actually close us out, though, all the way with what you want people to understand, the message you want to give beyond what Dion has to say.
I'd actually wanted to ask you a couple questions.
Go for it.
How was so you obviously AmFest was bigger this year than it was last year, almost by double.
Yeah, it was almost double, probably 45% larger, roughly.
What was your favorite part about AmFest?
Gosh, I hung out with Rob Schneider for like 2 hours. That was pretty dope.
I hear he's pretty badass too.
He's like the nicest guy I've ever met. And I was like super nervous to meet him because he's one of those guys who's like next level famous. Yeah. Like, I mean, all these people are famous, but I mean, I think his fame it's like extremely generational. Like my dad loved Rob Schneider, and children love Rob Schneider. He like seeing him was like seeing someone who doesn't exist. Like when he jumped out of his car, and he was back of house right behind the drop off. He got out. I was like, damn. I was like, this is real. It was crazy. That's probably the first time working for Turning Point where I've been like, holy shit, the person's right there. He was so nice. He was super, super polite. He really loves the kids. That's why he does it, because the kids went crazy for him. These college students are like, there was like 400, 500 lined up for him, and we had a very short amount of time, unfortunately. But he was like as authentic and as cool as they are. Also, when Ben spoke, I was backstage, and seeing the reaction from other speakers and other people around. It was so entertaining. Just like when Ben was like, if you say, I don't know, but I know, that she's like making fun of Candace and called her retarded. And then he did say, Candace, that's retarded. And like seeing everyone's reaction was just hilarious. Some people were like, oh shit. And it made me laugh. I really liked that. It was a cool moment. And then like when Tucker went on and it was going back at Ben, I loved Tucker's response. I like both of them. I watch both of them pretty much every week for different reasons. But Tucker was like, I think, in my opinion, kind of took the higher road instead of going back at him. I thought that was really cool. But, hearing the speakers live, like their live, authentic reaction to someone else talking shit about them and then going on was so cool. I loved it. I loved all of it. There's a lot of people who nobody knows who works backstage at these events, and they're like geniuses. They just figure this shit out, and they're like, this person's coming here at 11:05, this person 11:08, and they're like every single minute is tracked, which is insane in my mind. Like I don't work that way, so to work with them is so cool. Like all of it, I loved all of it, and the amount of students and the faith night where they had people singing and worshiping, it was just great.
So was it a different location then, like a different venue?
Same spot. But last year we only used essentially like half capacity. And this time we just pushed all the bleachers back and the chairs back a bunch.
So will they have to do a larger venue, do you think, next year or this year, I guess?
I think they're going to keep this one because it's like, you saw it, it's downtown. It's like perfect. It's surrounded by hotels. There's places to eat all over. There's not a better venue that we could use. And then if we go like too big to like the Cardinals stadium, then the pressure's on to fill that thing, which is like, that's only happened like one time ever.
Yeah.
We're not going to get that again. So I think that venue will stick. It's just the best for it. And 30,000 people, we can't.
It's huge.
It's a lot of people.
It's a football game.
Yeah, we don't really need that many more people. I mean, I want more people, but like, if we had probably 7,000 people on a wait list who couldn't get in. So like, we'll be
That's
fine.
so crazy.
We'll be fine.
That is crazy. Outside of like knowing who Trump is now, like when you saw Trump last year, was that cooler, or would you say this year you were more happy with this year's guests and everything?
Last year I was probably very, very excited to see Trump. Trump had just won. So, vibes are really high. She hadn't.
We all thought he was going to save us.
He hadn't pissed me off yet.
Yeah.
So when Trump came out last year, I was like, I was loving it. Now, like, Trump didn't come, obviously, and I don't really care. It didn't bother me at all. JD Vance was there. Actually, I don't know if I didn't see JD Vance speak. I left because I had to get on my flight, which ended up getting canceled. But I didn't even see. Yeah, I didn't even see JD speak, and I've seen him speak at all these other events with Turning Point. When I've been in Arizona for a long period of time before the election, so I've seen them both speak. I wasn't disappointed Trump wasn't there, but I've seen him speak, and I'm also like last year, you were like peeing yourself. You were so excited to see Trump.
He cried.
He cried. You loved it.
I added a little tear. I was like, I'm very happy right now.
Well, see, that's our goals at conferences. But if you would have came to this year, I'd have been like, whatever. Like, I don't really care. I'm just gonna. It didn't bother me. Him not being there didn't bother me. If I saw him at an event in Fargo next week, I don't even know if I'd go. They'd probably make me go and work it in some capacity, but Trump does not excite me anymore.
Yeah.
I'm pretty disappointed.
All right, last question. How do you feel about Nicki Minaj being there and being a guest speaker?
I'm surprised it didn't come up sooner. It's huge for the pop culture movement. It doesn't bother me at all.
I thought it was very Kamala-esque of them.
Kamala's people, who did she have? What was that?
She had Cardi B. She had fucking
Beyonce.
No, I'm thinking
Beyonce. Who was that chick that sang Gorilla?
SZA? No.
Glorilla.
Yeah, Glorilla's at least shaking ass, like twerking on stage. Like,
Who's the one that did the WAP video with Cardi B? That's who it was.
Wasn't that Glorilla?
No, it wasn't Glorilla. It was the other girl.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion. She performed her booty shaking
that is
music on
actually
stage.
stupid. Like that is just.
I just felt like they were reaching by bringing Nicki Minaj.
It was
on.
cringy.
What was the point of that politically?
And Nicki Minaj used to shake ass too.
Yeah.
And then she.
But regardless
What
of
did
it,
you guys
it was
do
just
before you got married.
weird.
Well, she was married. She married a
pedophile, bro. That's horrible timing.
Come on.
And it's tough because Charlie's like, I don't really think young women should be
look
looking
up
up
to
to people
Nicki
like
Minaj.
She
this.
defends.
I think he said that young women should not emulate Nicki Minaj, and I think Nicki Minaj would say for herself, young women should not emulate.
I think I agree with you on that statement for sure.
because I think seems wise enough. Maybe I don't really know. I had to leave during her speech. I watched her come out. I listened to quite a bit of it, and then I had to leave. But when she came out, I knew like 30 minutes beforehand because it was an unreleased name, so nobody knew it was coming.
Oh,
like,
that's pretty cool.
Probably like 5 people in the whole place knew it was coming. Like the really, really high people in events knew. Maybe I think so. I don't know, but like nobody in the audience knew. And when she was coming out, I was way more excited to see her than I was Trump. Because like, this is insane. Like Nicki Minaj about to come on stage. Twitter's about to blow up. It was cool. It was really, really cool to see her do that. And given the amount of hate she's going to get, I think it was.
Did she lose 10 million followers for participating in that? I saw
she lost 10 mil.
I didn't see that.
she shut her Instagram
few
off at
times.
one point because she had lost 10 million followers.
Yeah, she deleted
That's crazy.
Instagram and X.
I think that's a big number for people who support Turning Point.
10 million of her liberal fans in California unfollowing her.
I don't know if it's all her fans are liberal. She's always stood on the side of Trump.
Well, it's never been this vocal. I don't think she's ever spoken at a Trump event. I know she's spoken.
No, not spoken at an event, but she's always vocalized her
Well, she's
support.
just hates Gavin Newsom. And
Yeah.
very vocal about that. But like all the people in Hollywood, all the people who are super, the famous rappers and actors who are just terrified to come out and do shit like that. She did it.
True.
Charlie brought out what's that OnlyFans girl that you were saying? You said she's not. She has
Nala?
Yeah, Nala Ray. I mean, that's
Why do you know her last name?
because it's her Instagram handle.
Sure.
I think that's probably, if you were to tell me, you were to ask me,
I
what's
thought the same
worse,
thing when he sent that Lily video earlier. getting
What?
saved or whatever. I was like, wait a minute, how
Lily
did you even come
Phillips
across this?
I was scrolling. My wife said the same. I told my wife, I was like, Lily Phillips just got saved. She got baptized.
I was just
Because that was from her page. That wasn't just a random news.
It's a
post.
reel. I was
Why did it say you
scrolling.
followed her
I
then?
don't, it does not say that. Look at it right
Why
now.
your algorithm set up like that, bro?
Yeah, suggested reels.
My suggested reels are faith based, and
Sure.
Lily Phillips is going to heaven now.
Okay.
That makes sense. That was a good catch.
It's just all OnlyFans chicks. that are pretending to be
You're
saved.
fucking really well trained, homie. I like that response.
They're all being saved.
Yeah. But I think the Nala thing is probably even worse than, or
I didn't even know about that.
surprised
one, or
me
who that is.
more than Nicki Minaj, because Nala, I mean, she'd done some horrific things.
That was yeah.
Is she another
that
black
like-
chick?
She's white.
No,
She's white.
I think I know who
She's the
that
top
is.
OnlyFans creator
She was
for a long time.
She was the top OnlyFans
Oh.
girl in the world, and then she found God, got baptized, and then came.
Oh,
to-
that blonde chick we've talked about
She's
before.
skinnier,
We've
right?
talked about her when she first turned to God, didn't we?
We have talked about her, but
Yeah, I feel like now I know who you're talking
Like
about.
she was like on Charlie's.
she was a redhead
podcast.
for a long time.
Yeah, I
she
was gonna say she's redheaded.
She's blonde now.
And
but
she's been on.
what do you know? Why are you following her story?
I can't follow a girl that got saved.
Been on that podcast with the two white guys.
Yes.
that like talk mad crap. to
Whatever,
girls.
the whatever podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Yes,
girl,
yes,
right?
she was on
Okay,
there.
That's where
now
she.
I know.
Yeah, I know
That's
exactly
a
who she
good
is now.
podcast.
Yeah.
But she was on, like her, and she spoke at the Young Women's Leadership Summit
Oh,
in Texas last year. I know a lot of people, even some staff who, are no longer with us because they got fired because they were horrible. But they were like, I'm not going if Nala is going. Well, and like nobody gives a shit if she wasn't going.
I've never had sex before. I'm not gonna.
Yeah. And
I don't support it.
so I think Nala going was a much bigger surprise to go to a conference specifically about empowering young women. And then she goes on there and is like, I know I did all this, but I found God and I'm saved. And I was talking with another employee in Arizona about Nala this time, because it was once we found out Nikki was coming. I was like, do you support, like, were you, because it's a female. So I'm like, when you were at this women's summit, were you like, yeah, Nala, we want to hear from you. This is great. And she was like, yeah, it was awesome. It's like super cool to hear your story. And I was like, would you want your daughter to listen to Nala? And she was like, no. I'm like, well, there you go. Probably not. I'm like, I know I wouldn't want my daughters to be like, Nala Ray is my favorite. I'd be like, please, no, not at this house. But with Nicki Minaj, dude, it was big for the culture movement, for the pop culture. It doesn't really bother me too much. I know some people online are just bitching.
It doesn't
about it.
bother me, but the conversation was a little dull.
I do have one more question
It was-
for you.
It was kind of dull at times, but like, where does Erika take Nicki Minaj? Like, how deep do we know
She
her
shouldn't
mind
be
is?
there, really, in all fairness. But it's just like
Well,
me
she-
going up there. Like, what the fuck am I? What is she gonna
You
ask
don't have
me?
like 50 million followers.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
really
what's the
famous.
point at the end of the day?
She's really famous. Well, she's really famous.
She could have just posted a picture of the stage from down at the bottom in the fans.
Well, she's one of the. I mean, she's unbelievably famous. Like the crowd.
She
went
is.
nuts
That's what I'm
for her. So
saying. I
that's
get
why
it.
we want her on stage, and we're like, you see this girl who is in the Hollywood and the rap industry.
What'd she say?
She stands with us.
What would be your biggest thing to tell people or something like that? And she said, what was her response?
I don't know. I don't
It was
know.
a
I haven't
dumb
listened to
response.
back.
It was
I mean, in my
stupid.
mind, like I said, she's wildly famous. I'm like, where do you really?
She's
take
about,
that
I mean,
conversation?
I'm sure she's more intelligent than Cardi B, but I just,
Oh,
Yeah.
billion
I wouldn't put her on the stage.
Cardi
Did you
B's
hear-
dating Stefan Diggs. Like, what
Cardi
do you
B
mean?
is like an actual idiot. Did you hear Nicki Minaj talking about the Christians in Nigeria, though? She sounded like a genius. She sounded very well put together. I don't know if you've seen that video, but she was speaking in front of like some Senate committee or some big political thing.
yeah, she is. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, she's definitely
She sounded
concerned.
great.
She's
And on,
concerned.
live on stage, she, whatever. She's a singer. She's a rapper.
So, what are you gonna do when they start pushing? Like, all right, we're gonna go for. Obviously, you're a conservative movement, so you have to go with anybody non-Democrat, basically, depending on what their values are. But currently, that's what it seems to be. Like, if they just start pushing like JD Vance this for the next
That's
election,
already what we're doing.
you're gonna. So, does that feel like odd for you?
I feel like that was Nicki Minaj's primary objective for being there, was to help put him up.
Probably. I mean, that's a good point. I didn't listen to her whole thing,
She
but
said
I know
he was an assassin.
Yeah,
And then
that was
everybody's
very-
like,
That was
very-
awkward.
I did catch that. I was walking and she said that and I was like, oh, that was awkward. But see, this is where you see Erika is so authentic and just a real person.
just
'cause she
laughed
was
it off.
Yeah, she did. What are you supposed to do? Be like, oh, in front of everybody. No, she's like, Erika is a professional. She's like, okay, like, well, let's really
Professional is right.
Yeah, she's a professional speaker. She's great at what she does.
Yep.
So she wasn't going to let that throw off the whole thing, because everyone in the audience was like, oh shit. I can tell you, because I was looking around and everyone's like, oh. And but yeah, I mean, Erika said on stage, I'm pretty sure that we're pushing JD in 28. Yeah. But you're right. I didn't think of that. That Nikki hates Gavin so much, so the more she talks shit about Gavin, the better.
To help prop him
the better. Yeah, no, that's a really good point. That's probably why, because she's an anti Gavin Newsom. She probably doesn't know that much about JD Vance, but she just hates Gavin Newsom so loud, so people love it or hate it. But yeah, it's all signs, every single thing I can see is JD Vance in 28. Like, I feel like the posters are already printed out somewhere. And I do think Turning Point Action, which is not the company I work for, but it's like the political arm, they're already getting ready to push JD into some extent.
Are you behind that as a Turning Point?
Well, I'm behind whoever the most conservative candidate is, and usually it's 99.9% of the time Republicans. Actually, now it is. It didn't always used to be that way. It used to be somewhat mixed.
Regardless of their belief systems and their implementations into our nation and the current positions they hold in the cabinet, you still support regardless if they're conservatives?
Well, you'd have to tell me, and I know we hate playing this game, but the lesser of two evils.
Like, you're a vote no matter what kind of guy.
That's how it's always going to work.
I'm going to vote no matter what, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I think not voting is a vote for the bad guys. I think if you're not going to vote because you don't like JD Vance, and we all know Kamala is literally like the devil, then you just propped up the devil by not voting for JD Vance. That's
but what if I think JD Vance is also the devil?
Well, which one of them's worse?
Which one has bigger horns?
Yeah.
Yes, which one has bigger horns? I mean, if that's what you think.
Fair enough.
Because I think if you don't vote, then you're voting for the shittier person every single time.
Yeah, but what if they're both just shitty and we're just trying to mask which one's shittier? That's the thing.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
But then it's not. They're both equally shitty. They're just one's hiding it better. One's hiding it better.
Well, one of JD Vance is pro-life. Any Democrat candidate is not. So, I mean, automatically I can put JD up here.
At the end of the day, nothing's going to change about pro-life movement.
There's been 3 states this month that have.
But you can just go somewhere else and get an abortion, though. Well,
that's because we don't control all states from the giant federal level on everything.
And so it's not going to change federally, though. That's what I'm getting at. So at the end of the day, we're
getting closer. I mean, Nebraska just shut down all of them. North Dakota is going to shut down. Actually, you think it might already be done, but I mean, all of these states are shutting down abortion completely. So whatever candidate is trying to help us do that, I'm all for it. Now, if we're not going to get, if JD, JD's not going to be able to do everything federally because that just won't pass in a vote. But whoever's trying to save more babies, that's a big thing to me. So I'm going to vote for him, and it's not going to be the Democrat candidate ever.
Dope.
Probably ever.
Gavin Newsom might.
Gavin Newsom loves trans kids. He said those exact words. So. No,
I mean, they won't make more babies, but they can. Some of them can.
And
still
not
have
making babies is a problem. Having children is the number one goal.
Yeah, but they're not killing them.
Well, they're not reproducing.
California, you can have an abortion up to 9 months.
He loves babies, though.
No,
I don't think he loves babies.
He probably does.
I doubt it.
I would assume he probably does.
Does he even have any kids?
Why would you assume that? Based on what
kids.
evidence?
Just because more voters? I don't know.
Oh God.
Well, that's why they're letting people come in from Mexico. So he doesn't need new people for that. He just needs new immigrants.
That's
all
fair.
right.
Hold on. Let me say one more thing, and then we can wrap up.
It's been 30 minutes since we said that.
I will. I'll end on this. There was a couple things that did bother me that I forgot. One of them was I get Charlie did all this stuff for Trump, but I thought it was very strange that it was him that was the first person to say the great and powerful Charlie Kirk is dead. Like, that to me is strange. And then he came out with this AI photo of him and Charlie together hugging with the flag and the Israel flag. Like Shlomo Pearl, I guess is like
insane.
I guess it's like a, what do you call it? It's a slight, I guess. That's what people said. And then you got Benjamin Netanyahu immediately coming on saying the same thing, basically. Charlie's dead. We love Charlie. He was a big advocate for Israel. Here's my I love me letter, like almost immediately. So that was weird. Mm-hmm. But I get it. Like, he can consider Charlie a friend, but still, like,
Trump or Netanyahu?
No, Netanyahu. That was very strange to me. There's too much icky with the whole entire situation for me to just chalk it up to just saying, oh yeah, it was Tyler Robinson. That's it. There's too much there. And so where I'm going to be at probably for the foreseeable future is, I'm going to support you because you're my boy. And I'll always support you.
You're breaking up with me right now.
I will always support you, but I cannot support Turning Point at this point.
You're breaking
anymore.
up with me. This is a breakup.
And the more and more stuff that's been going on, it like makes me so sick and fucking pissed off at everything about just the top down being lied to. And that includes Turning Point. That includes the FBI. That includes Trump. The Somali thing. I am ready to just say, fuck it. Let's just not pay taxes. And if they want to come after us, let's form some militia.
Okay, so I don't even know what to respond to. Theo Vaughn said, why are we paying taxes? And the tweet blew up. I mean, all of his tweets probably blow up, but that's a real thing. Why are we paying taxes right now if that shit's happening across the river in Minnesota? And
that's just a fraction of what we've been doing. I mean, Trump literally just signed the NDA where they're sending like fucking $900 million to Israel.
Okay, well, see, a lot of the things you were saying before you broke up with me was that Trump is the problem. And, when Trump posted the picture of Charlie that was AI, I thought it was disgusting. Not because of the Israel flag, but because they have pictures together.
Yeah.
Like, I think that, I don't know, it made me think that Charlie loved Trump more than,
it seemed like he used Charlie.
Well, I don't know. Trump is such a interesting character. I used to love him. I don't hate him now. I just don't like him as much anymore.
Trump wouldn't. I honestly believe that Trump wouldn't have won without Turning Point and Charlie Kirk.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Because he had so much of the youth vote on his side, and it just seemed like when Charlie died, it was just like
I agree. It was underwhelming. Yeah. It was underwhelming. When Charlie died,
and then when he came into his memorial, it was like a fucking a rally for him. Like that bothered me too. He basically he used that like a rally.
Well, I think
borders shut down. We're sending them all home.
I think that Charlie was it looked like he loved Trump. It looked like Trump was very appreciative, but I don't know. It almost seemed like in some aspects it was like just business for Trump. Trump's a business guy. I kind of felt that way because to me, I feel like I was expecting more of like a father losing his son feeling. And I didn't feel that when Charlie died from Trump, but I don't know what the relationship was like, and I'll never know. So maybe behind closed doors it's not as lovey and hugs as I think it is, but who knows? But yeah, I thought Trump's response to Charlie dying was very underwhelming. I thought it was
super lackluster for sure.
Yeah, I thought it imagine it would be a little less than I die and my dad's sad. Like I thought they had that type of connection, like they were really really that close.
You would think it based on Charlie's behaviors around Trump.
Yeah, because Charlie is the reason he won 100%. And then the picture was, I thought that was bullcrap because he literally has pictures of them together. I don't know why he posted that AI photo. And then the memorial, I remember I was asking some of the people around me, I was like, who do you think is going to speak last? And they're like, it's obviously going to be Trump. I'm like, that's kind of bullshit though, isn't it? Like Erika should speak last. And I thought that the whole time. I'll never change my mind on that. It should have been Erika who spoke last. Trump should have been after JD, and then it should have been Erika. Like, cause that specific day, the whole day is for Charlie. But then if there's one other person it's Erika. And then so we don't let Trump get the final rally. I think Erika should have been the last person to speak for sure. And that's what I wanted to happen. I was a little disappointed. And then honestly, like once again, Trump spoke. I feel like I checked out a little bit because I've seen it so many times. And I listened to his beginning because the crowd went nuts, and I was like, hell yeah, Trump's speaking. And he's going to say some beautiful words. But then it came down to like the price of eggs and gas and the illegals. And I'm like,
shut the fuck up.
Sighing. But yeah, no, I think we agree on that. Like, Erika,
what are you smiling about?
Should have been Erika.
Go ahead and say it.
Nothing. It's everything's so cheap. I love it. It's great. America's awesome, dude. It's sick.
Okay, well, I mean, right now, yes, gas is way, way, way down. I'm paying $2.02 by my house.
Thank you.
Gas is
it's actually $1.96, and Casey's 40.
Okay, so that's
Diesel's
where like
$3.19.
where some people are still bitching about Trump, and you guys are anti-Trump. I don't know if I'm anti-Trump, but I mean, gas is way down.
Yeah, you just love
Eggs
being
is way
lied to.
down.
That's all it is.
I love affordable gas.
And you like
I
being
love-
lied to your face with
and I-
straight evidence, like that's just completely falsified.
Well, do you like expensive gas?
I mean, I'd rather pay for more expensive gas and be told the truth than to be
fuck.
lied to.
Forever?
I don't want to be lied to
Really?
forever.
Okay.
No,
Oh, you want to pay expensive gas for
I
it.
could afford it, so
Really?
yes, I would
Really?
rather pay. I'd rather not
Really?
be lied to and pay more
Damn.
expensive gas.
That
than,
means that much to you?
Yeah, I don't
Wow.
like being
Shit.
lied to.
Wow, okay, well,
by my
You wouldn't rather
country.
have
Well,
financial
Dion, you need
stability?
to-
I have financial stability. That's
You
what I'm
could have a
telling
lot
you.
more, though.
I can physically afford to pay higher gas to not be lied to for the
Really?
rest
So
of
if
my
it went
life.
up to like $7, you'd be all right still?
I could figure it
Yeah,
out.
your entire life you've been lied to by the government. It's if
I
if-
understand that. I
if
fully,
they're gonna
I
give
fully
us-
understand
They're
that.
gonna give us $2 gas, and Trump is helping somebody else. Fuck it, because you know what? In 4 years, nothing will probably change.
I
In 8
agree.
years, nothing will change.
I agree.
So if you agree, it's not going to change. Let's just.
But I'm not going to
let's just
try and
settle
create a
that gas
conservative.
is
But then
cheap,
I'm not going to
eggs
try
are
and
cheaper,
create
we're
a
happy.
conservative value group and try and vote somebody conservative in that's just a liar. If you were gonna run for governor
Your
or
opinions
mayor,
blow my mind sometimes.
if you're gonna run for governor or mayor, and you were like, "Hey, vote for me," even though I knew you were saying false things, I would not be able to vote for you as like a person that
And who are you
knows
gonna vote for? Not vote?
him.
Not
Well,
vote.
if you're just never going to
So
vote,
it's either
Dion, then
one
you're
or
just-
the other.
I
Who
can
are you
vote.
voting
I'll
for?
vote. I'm not going to vote for the lesser of two evils. That's for sure. I'm
What?
not
Then
going to
you're
do
not
that
going
shit again.
You're going to vote for the evil
I'll
of the two.
vote. I'll vote for a fucking write-in, bro. I'll put the Wayne the Rock Johnson
Okay, well
for
then it
all I
doesn't
care.
matter. Then it's just as equal as voting for or not.
Okay,
voting.
so you're
But
voting
will
a
not
write-in.
vote then.
That's what you're saying.
You might as well not vote because
Okay.
it won't matter.
Exactly. So it won't
Got
matter
it.
if we don't pick
Got
one
it.
of the two shitty people. Then it doesn't matter. So
Do you
what's
think
the
it
point?
matters if you vote for Dwayne Johnson?
I think it doesn't matter for voting in general when both of the people are scumbags. Yeah.
Okay.
I
well,
think there's always a possibility to look at two lesser of evils and say one of these would be way fucking worse than the other if they won,
it almost
and then you
seems-
should try to sway that outcome.
That's how it's. You're right.
Yes,
that's how
it
it's
is.
always going to be.
Let's
it is.
destroy
Not
the
going to
world
change.
slower
Yeah.
if we can. Why would we
Yes.
do that?
Absolutely.
I'd rather
Absolutely.
I'd rather
Okay.
You'd
let's
rather
go,
speed it up?
Let's
Yeah,
go
speed
into
it up.
let's go into absolute chaos in 4 years rather than wait 15 years and go
Okay,
into
but
chaos.
you're.
I would rather see that shit burn
But you
so
have
that we
children.
can rebuild.
You're gonna have children.
I will have
So-
children
so
one day.
you're gonna have
yes.
children. So don't you think in 4 years you'd appreciate if their world was burning slower, so then they have a chance to maybe fix it in the next
No,
generation?
I'd rather be able to fix it before they actually have
Well,
to
if
grow
it's gonna
into
go
it for
full
real.
speed into
How
the
you gonna
ground for
fix
voting
it?
for Kamala, nothing's gonna
If
change.
the world gets so bad when a Democrat gets into office, we will change it.
Well,
What if, what if your
just like-
kid's
just like
already
we did the
affected
last
by
4
that?
years? Just like the last 4 years.
But
what
right
have we
now,
changed?
right now, what are we doing? We're saying, oh, we're giving all our money to Israel, right? Okay, so what are we gonna do about Israel? Nothing.
Don't you know that's
Nothing.
like the
Over
most
next
bipartisan issue of all time?
That's-
They're both doing it.
that's
So you're gonna
fine.
go whoever gives 4 million versus 5 million. I'll vote for the guy who gave 4 million. That is such a bipartisan thing. Democrats and Republicans alike are all very, very much pro-Israel. Whether I like it or not, they all, for the most part,
100%.
are. So I'm going to vote for somebody who is going to try to close the border. They're going to try to bring gas down, try to bring eggs down. They want to try to ban abortion. They believe in sovereignty. Those couple things means more than men and women's bathrooms, men and women's sports, transgender for children, free healthcare for illegal immigrants. Like, if you can't differentiate the two and be like, damn, this one is worse and this one is better, you shouldn't be allowed to vote.
But at the end of the day, men and women's sports, I guess that is not happening. So that's awesome. It's
'cause Trump
freaking
won,
sick.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's not going to
Still
happen
happening
for
in
long.
Minnesota.
It's not okay. So what is he doing? What's he doing about it?
Do you understand that Trump cannot snap his fingers and take away a right that's
Well, he
happening in
took
Minnesota?
away all the funding already for them.
It took voting for that. Well, he can do an executive order, but then that can get shut down. Like, they can go back and be like, Trump, you're not doing this.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the men competing in women's sports in Minnesota, Trump can't, or even we're talking about abortion, Trump can't just say, California, I know all you guys love 9-month abortions, but I am the king, so no more. That's not how that works. There's a lot of voting that has to get done to make these things happen locally.
Okay, so
So it's like weed is legal federally, but it's illegal. Or weed is
not legal.
Not legal.
Yeah, not legal here, but legal federally.
Not
No,
legal.
not legal
No,
federally.
they've
Legal by
they've
states,
changed
yeah.
the scheduling on it.
He can't, it's the same thing as that. Like, no president can just be like, all of this now.
That's awesome and stuff, but at the end of the day, you have to see some sort of change other than just I personally would rather see more important things get changed rather than the price of
what?
eggs.
Like less babies being murdered. In the womb.
Less drugs in the
We're
United
getting less
States.
drugs across the border because the border is shut down.
There's still
that's already
tons of
happened.
drugs here.
That is
That's
There's
already
still tons
happened.
of drugs
It's
here.
because
Okay, they're here
because-
already though. They're not coming here
Okay,
anymore.
so let's
They're
stop the
literally
drugs.
assassinating boats bringing drugs
We
here,
should
bro.
assassinate drug dealers then, if that's the case. If we're
They
going to
are.
assassinate
They literally
the,
are.
the boats, then let's assassinate drug dealers here in the United
Sometimes
States,
I think
right?
Dalton, you're right. His logic is
It
really
doesn't make any
skewed
sense.
Okay,
sometimes.
but have the charges changed for drug dealers? Not yet.
Well, that's one of those things that he can't just
can't
fucking
just snap his
overnight
fingers
it.
and change.
Trump could make marijuana federally legal right now, and the states can still deny it.
Yes.
It shouldn't be legal. So that's.
I'm just saying the power that he has isn't the power you're claiming he should.
But I'm not
That's
blaming
good.
it all on
It's
Trump.
good
I'm
that they
telling
can't
you
just go
that
like this.
voting for a president is not the most important thing you can vote for, first off. Second off, voting for the lesser of two evils is not a good system of voting.
It's not a
but it's what
system.
we-
That's what it is. That's the system.
No, it's not a system. A system would be implementation. That's not a system. That's just the way it fucking is,
Okay,
bro. No one woke up and said, let's make
but
it a system that you got to vote for the lesser
what
of evil.
you two people say, both of you have said it when we voted the last time, when we're going to vote the next time. If you do not vote, you're voting for the worst person, correct?
True. Yes.
So that is a system that's in place. We know in our minds.
Well, then
and
voting-
the
That's not a
voting is-
system, though. You're
Well, then
using the wrong
it is a
word. Then.
system.
That's not a
No.
system, bro.
Okay, then then like voting locally is a system too.
Until you're
then. School
unwilling.
board elections, is that a system to you too? Because one person is shittier than the other.
It is.
Okay, so then all voting up until the election down to.
But if we continue to vote for the lesser of two evils, then we will never get out of what
Once
this
again,
system
It's not like
is.
everyone's doing it by choice, bro. It's the default option to society right now. This isn't a system. It's a default option. We have fucking horrible people within government and people that are running for presidency. And so when we want to make a vote, like what Dalton's saying is if you just don't vote, like look at Kamala Harris, right? They were able to cheat the system and lie to make it look like she had way more voters, and they would have pulled the trigger on winning that had people not stood against it and voted for the lesser of evils. Okay? So we do see benefit for the lesser of evil taking place right now, like the low gas prices and all that stuff. And I'm not an advocate for being like, oh, I love Trump still because of that shit. I think that only gives a select few people joy. Like you're not one of them. You're like, I'd rather pay higher gas prices. That's fair. You're allowed to have those opinions. But in the argument of voting for the lesser of evils or calling it a system, it's not by design, bro. It's just the way that it is. But yes, if you were to say, I'm just not going to vote, you increase the chance of the really bad person cheating the system the way they've continued to try to do in the last decade. That was evident to us. I'm sure it's been going on way longer, but that was so evident and apparent to us to be able to identify. You enable them to go ahead and win by not saying, you know what, I would at least rather vote for this one person who maybe has more pro-American rights than the other person, who has better ideology in a lot of areas that matter, particularly against my children.
By voting for somebody who is less evil than the other person, you give them the ability to have power to do things that are things that
Yep.
are
That's
not
what
appropriate.
voting for the lesser of evil means, bro.
Yeah, okay.
By definition.
But by definition, that means that you're okaying them to send money to Israel. Then you should shut up.
No,
and
because
not
we
talk
didn't know he
about
was
it.
Israel like that.
That's true. We
No
did
one
not know
understood it that way when
Okay,
we voted for him.
Okay, so but now
I wouldn't vote for him.
So if JD Vance is the second person, now you know that.
Yeah.
So then what?
But again, you're still weighing the odds. What is the lesser of
Okay,
evil
okay,
situation?
But then you go.
If it's already
then you go
like
and-
that,
you go
pretty
and
easy.
you think, okay, so Israel went and was bombing people in Gaza, killing people, right? If that's real, whatever. If that's real and they're killing all these people, we gave them the money to go kill these people. JD Vance was the vice president.
All right, let's
You're
end it
gonna
on
vote
this because we're
JD
going too
Vance
far.
in.
Does Gavin Newsom support Israel too?
Let's
I'm
end
not
it.
gonna
Let's
vote for
end it.
Gavin
No,
Newsom.
hold
That's
on.
what I'm telling you. He's gonna
Let's
be
end it
running.
on. Let's end it on a good one here, because we're way over time and I got to edit this shit. But if that's truly how you feel, and based on everything you just said right now, Dion, you have to stop paying taxes. You have to stop working, stop contributing to society, because that money to Israel comes from your paycheck too.
Yeah, but I'm gonna
So
go
quit
to jail.
working.
I'm gonna go to jail if I don't pay that.
Oh, so you're choosing the lesser of evils in that situation.
go to jail?
Not to go to jail is the lesser of evils. You're going to choose to fund the Israel money by not going to jail. You're going to pay your taxes.
I have to
so
pay
you
my
could avoid
taxes
jail. So you know that money's going to Israel, bro. But you're choosing the lesser of evils by saying, I got to keep working though. I got to keep paying my taxes.
Or go to jail.
or go to jail.
So
which
I
one's
can
less
either
evil?
You're choosing the lesser of evil, though. I'm not saying either one's right or wrong. I'm just
my
saying
$10,000 doesn't go to Israel.
Oh, promise you.
I don't-
All of
no, it
our tax
doesn't.
dollars go
Not
to funding
mine.
Israel, bro.
Not mine.
You don't get to choose.
I do. I
no,
choose.
that's delusion. You're not being
I got-
realistic, bro.
I
You're
got
being delusional.
$10,000 I put into federal taxes. You think they give that to Israel?
Yes. I think it contributes.
I don't think so.
How do you not
100%.
think so?
Who's
Based
just
on
going
what
then?
facts?
100%. Who's just going then? Are you
What do you
serious?
mean?
actually don't-
It
you
pays.
actually-
It pays
pick
some
and
scumbag.
choose.
I'll give you that.
They
It pays
pick
a
and choose.
Did
scumbag
they
to.
send it to Israel?
No, they do whatever
So
they
do
want.
you
It's not my money.
actually
It's not my
believe
money
your
at that
tax
point.
Accumulatively, that money is going to all kinds of wrongs, bro.
If you actually don't
That's like
believe that,
that's like
crazy.
saying
You need a civics lesson.
Yeah, for real.
the money going from a stripper to you is wrong of you to take
the
because it's a
strippers don't pay
stripper's
me.
money.
Strippers don't pay me. No, I would
I'm not
take a
saying
stripper's
you
money.
get the money from the stripper. I'm saying the money from the stripper that ends up in your pocket is wrong.
That's a bad hypothetical. But if you don't believe a portion, like a couple pennies from your
Doesn't.
paycheck, that's insane. Then who's paying them? Trump's not writing checks from Trump's
Who's
bank
paying the
account.
politicians? That's where the money goes to.
And where are they giving their money, Dion?
From me. What the fuck
Okay.
you mean?
So
No,
you're telling
no,
me
I think
Nancy
you're-
Pelosi's a multi-hundred millionaire because of your tax dollars?
No, but she gets paid from a portion
Okay.
of our taxes.
And
So
where is
so
she
you're still
giving money?
choosing the lesser of
And
evils.
where is she giving money? All of these people donate to
just
Israel.
because I have to pay money, that's like saying if I work for a company that's bad and doing bad things, that doesn't mean like you have to.
no one's claiming you're bad. We're just
No,
saying.
I know. I'm
all
telling
of our
you,
money is going to foreign
Once the
aid,
money is
all
out
it.
of my hands and I'm not able to choose where
So
it goes,
was your money. Okay.
I'm not making a decision to
Yeah,
give it
you're
to somebody.
contradicting yourself
I'm
now.
not. I'm not making a
Dion,
decision
I
to
don't
give.
want to pay
okay.
taxes, but I know mine are going wherever the government decides they need to go.
I'm not giving. I don't have a decision whether or not I can give my money to whoever I want to give
Yeah,
it to.
you can stop paying taxes.
And then I go to jail though.
Oh, it's the lesser of two
So that's
evils.
the lesser of evils.
That's not the lesser of
Yes,
evils.
because
No,
if you were
that's-
truly standing on business, you would say, "Fucking
you're
put me in jail."
you're choosing to vote for somebody you don't have to vote for with no repercussions, correct?
No,
Yes, you are.
no, you're not.
You can vote for somebody else.
You can't make stuff
Vote
up
for
in your head
somebody
and call it
else.
right,
Like,
bro.
vote for somebody else.
Okay, but there's no Dion.
You're
we
gonna
get-
vote for JD Vance, who
Yeah.
you already said you
We
don't
got-
like Trump and you know he's not great, right?
JD Vance.
Yes.
But we just made the argument.
Yeah,
So
I've
this
told
is
you
why it's
several times
contradicted
why I
because
will
we
vote
just
for
made the
him.
argument. If we vote for somebody else, for instance, do a write-in, we're allowing the bigger of evils to win.
But that logic is what causes us to stay in the cycle. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. So
Once
as long
again,
as you stay in that cycle,
If you
we're
present,
not going to change anything.
You cannot present problems without solutions. So maybe next week you guys come back with your solution to this problem.
Okay, but
You're
I'm telling
presenting
you
problems
that
without solutions.
you're saying let's keep doing the same thing over and over again. I'm telling you, if we could just let it burn,
Dion, whichever
we'll come up
candidate
with
in
a solution
2020
before then.
That's not true.
We
Whichever-
will.
Look,
I promise you.
everyone's
I promise
calling.
you.
Everyone's calling for a fucking Boston Tea Party right now, bro. Everyone's saying so. If you truly want to inflict change, then you must stop paying your taxes right now. That's how
That
you
is
end
not
this.
logical.
That's how
though.
you.
That's not
why
logical.
not? It worked before.
You can't continue.
Then, Dion,
you
how is that
historically,
not
it
logical,
works.
but voting for someone else is logical. You're using
Quitting
a lot of
work and
circular
going to
reasoning.
jail is not going to do anything beneficial for anybody.
Okay, so then
What-
voting for
that
the
makes no
voting
sense.
for the Democrat is not going to help us at all either. Do you agree?
What if they lower your gas price?
That'd be great, but I don't like them killing babies and leaving the border open.
Okay.
So I would.
The
I would
borders.
pay three-
You just said they're not doing any mass deportation. So why is that?
they're doing okay.
They're doing a horrible
They're-
job
I said
at
they're
mass
not doing as many
deportation.
as I want to see. And when Joe Biden was the president,
Why
we
is
saw-
that though?
That's a great question. They're not working as hard as I want them to be. I
Okay,
don't know.
but if there's
But
so
Dion,
many bad
you're-
people here,
Okay, just because you talk louder and fast doesn't mean you're right. When the border was open with Joe Biden,
okay,
they flooded in. Trump shut the border down and
They're
kicked
here.
people out.
they're here still.
How many? We're getting rid of millions of people, just not fast enough.
We're not getting rid of millions of people.
We are. We've
yet.
already hit well over a million, and it's just not been fast
But
enough.
that's what happens every 4 years. That's what we've already looked at the statistics.
That's not true because
We've never
Barack
had an
Obama,
inflation of immigration like we had. Now.
We have
Barack
not
Obama-
received that many immigrants. We've
So
always
then it
gotten
doesn't
rid of
happen.
that many immigrants.
That's not true either. Joe Biden got
Look
rid
at
of
the we've looked at the
Dion,
list on
how many?
here.
How many? do you think-
25 million immigrants crossed the border illegally when they were wide open. That's never happened in
I'm
the
saying
history
the
of
amount
the
of
fucking
the
world
amount
in
of
any nation.
immigrants that people get rid of per year as a president has been just as high as what Trump's going to do this year.
We concurred with that already.
Joe
They're not
didn't
doing
do that.
enough.
Joe Biden wasn't deporting people.
We said that. They're not doing enough.
Yeah, we said he's not doing enough. But Obama deported way more people than Trump has so far.
Exactly.
And Joe Biden, a Democrat, after Obama, let all of them come back in plus times 5. And Trump is slowly getting rid of them. And I want that.
We can't do that slowly, though. If we had such a surge, why are we not doing a better job of
slowly
getting rid
or
of them?
never? It's either we do it slowly or not at all.
If
Oh
we
my
had
gosh.
such a large surge, why are we not pushing that harder then? That's what I'm saying. If we're going to stay at the
Do you
same
not see
pace,
the
Yeah,
videos
this
of
isn't
ICE
logical
agents
anymore.
getting-
I literally,
I agree.
The pace at which we're getting rid of 1 million immigrants
Yes.
in 1 year, we're going to get rid of 4 million immigrants. How is that going to benefit
Guess
us?
what? If Kamala Harris is president again, they're all coming back.
If
Is that what you
nuts
want?
and candies and busts, that doesn't matter. It's what's going on right now.
But no, that's
Okay,
the
they're
reason why
getting
they're
rid of them.
hiring 80,000 ICE agents.
Okay, we have 1 million immigrants gone. We have 3 more years. And with that, we have 2.5 years.
Correct.
They're
do you
not
not
getting rid
understand-
of that
Which
many
is,
immigrants.
which is why they hired 80,000
If
more.
But I'm
Republican-
telling you, it's not going
if
to. I
J.D.
guarantee
Vance
you
does
at
not
the end,
win,
when 3 years
the
comes
border's
up, I
open again.
guarantee you guys, he doesn't hit over what Obama hit for
Bullshit.
12
Based
years
on
ago.
what? Based on what
Just
facts
because
and
the
evidence?
numbers alone, he
We
won.
have 1 million. What are we at right now?
2 million.
We're at 2 million.
How long did Obama have to do that?
4 years to get 9.8 million people gone. Trump has had
A year?
14 months.
With a surge of immigrants, though, that's what I'm saying. If
Also-
there's more, then you should be able to get rid of more. Correct or no?
Well, you should be able to, but Obama didn't have the confrontation and the stoppage
We didn't hear
that
anything
Trump's
about
dealing
Obama
with.
deporting people.
For all we
did.
know, Obama
I
lied
didn't know
about
that.
those
Yes, we
numbers.
did.
I didn't know.
didn't.
Yes, now we do because they're like, wait a minute.
He literally
Democrats-
talked about deporting people in interviews.
I know,
He
but
never
when
got
Obama
anybody
was
fighting
president, when
against it.
when Obama was
That's true.
president, I lived in California, bro, on the border of Southern California, right by Mexico, and I don't recall
How many were
any.
judges?
Listen, I don't recall any rioting, any protesting, any fucking immigration trucks. There was never any evidence that they were in the streets, bro, especially on the border of Mexico. I never seen immigration running the streets, sweeping people up, running into job sites, going to fucking Home Depot, doing none of this shit. I never saw that during this supposed 8+ million people that Obama deported. So how is it Trump's only done 1 million and the whole fucking nation is in uproar about the way that they're approaching this and how they're raiding streets and going into schools just to get a measly 1 million people? It took that much effort and that much evidence to see the attention that they're giving to this issue. But you're telling me Obama did 8 million plus and no one ever witnessed it happening? I don't buy it, bro. So you're not bringing good
That's not a
argument
fact,
with
though.
evidence.
You're just saying you
neither
don't
is what
buy
you're
it.
saying. Neither is what you're saying a fact.
I went off of the statistic.
Okay, so let's look at statistics of
We'll
everything
find
else
it.
we discussed regarding all the stuff that happened. There's no evidence, just statistics.
Okay,
bro.
in 3 years, we will have the statistic, and I will put money on it that he will not be higher than 500,000.
Okay, but what
maybe
does
more
winning
than
that? What does winning that argument do for the discussion?
I think
that we're
you're-
I'm
having?
telling you, he's not voting for the lesser of two evils is not a good solution.
So you're
But
doing-
telling me
you're
I gotta
basing it-
come up with a solution, and I'm telling you,
Cody,
the
what did you
solution
call
is-
yourself? You're not a one issue voter. So wouldn't that be a one issue vote you're doing right now?
A one issue vote is trying to come up with an actual solution.
No, you're
Well, you're just gonna-
mad about immigration being the reason why you
No,
wouldn't
that's
vote
just
for a
one.
lesser of evils.
That is one option. You're telling me I can go to jail or pay taxes that get funded to.
Dalton's numbers were wrong. It's 3 million.
3 million. Yeah, even then we didn't see that.
They have 3 million over 8 years.
8 years. That's way less than Trump's
I
doing,
don't
bro.
think that's what we saw on that last stat
Wow.
sheet that we saw.
administration.
I'm way off.
This is Grok. This is Grok.
So that's statistics aren't good now.
Of any president when measured this way.
Wow, I was way off.
I mean, it doesn't matter at this point. I'm not.
So
gonna
he's
Google
already
it, but-
way behind Trump.
Obama had 8 years. I didn't even think of that.
8 years,
This
3
is
million.
Grok, though. With that being said, we've
Okay,
seen
but-
Grok be wrong, but
You're
with-
just
whatever.
gonna argue
Hey,
everything to be wrong.
I literally
though.
showed you something that Grok was wrong in, so I'm not going to argue.
No,
with you.
I know.
not
I'm
gonna
just
look
saying.
up-
I'm just saying. You're.
I
Where
got
did
it.
you
That's
get
what
your
I'm saying.
statistics on Obama from?
We looked it up on the podcast.
Where did we look it up at? Though?
I don't recall,
Instagram
but we
Reels.
looked it up on. Okay, John looked it up. It was on here.
Sure.
So
So
it must not have been.
I don't
wrong.
remember a 9 million figure, but you could be
But even
right
if
on
it
what
was
you
9
remember.
million,
It is
it's
what
an-
it is.
But even
At
if
the end
it's even if it is 9 million, that's over 8 years.
Over
That's
8
not
years.
very good.
at the end of the day,
That would be. That would be.
doesn't matter. It's a mute point. That's
What
not
was
what
it,
it was. Just a
750,000 a
partial topic on what I was saying. I don't think that's a good idea.
Over 8 years, pretty horrible.
That's
actually
a horrible
dog shit.
deportation. So that discussion
I think
ends.
you're an anarchist.
I agree at this point. I mean, I'd rather see my community grow, but let's vote for a president that does shit.
How do you grow your
Communities,
community without
Community.
voting
get
for
out
the
and
right
you
people?
help people?
Do you do that?
And you allow more
all the
babies.
time.
What do you do?
100%. I'm not going
To
to say
grow
it
your-
on here, but I
To
do
grow
it.
your community, you need more babies to be born.
I
And
agree.
which candidate's going to help you do that?
They're not going to help me do anything.
Which candidate wants more babies to be born to help you grow your community?
Your community is what helps that, not any candidate in the government.
Well, if you can just go out and kill babies because you don't want to have them, then one candidate
can't
doesn't
do
want
that.
You can.
You
That's a
can't go out and
community
kill
working
babies.
against
You
the community.
actually
You
said
can get
that.
an abortion, but you can't go out and kill babies. Yes.
So you don't think an abortion is killing a baby?
I think somebody getting an abortion is killing a baby. Yes.
Okay, so you just defeated your own argument there,
I just told you you can't go out and kill babies.
Dion.
There's not
but
people
then-
just going out and killing babies. It's not like everybody's.
Let's slow down the words quick so I can say some. So you said no one's just killing babies.
I don't want to argue anymore. We gotta go. This is it.
Okay.
We can talk
I won.
off of this.
I won.
You won,
We can
dude.
end it.
You're the best.
You can end it.
Let's just fucking vote for the government. Let's not worry about our communities.
we broke him.
We're gonna be just fine if we just keep voting. Let's do
broke
it,
him.
guys.
Well, but you by that argument, you think we'll be better off not voting?
No, let's just vote for the government. That's it.
So what is your solution?
Work on your community.
That's the only thing
What is
we
your
vote.
solution?
Work on your community.
What?
You should be a part of your community.
Okay. Can we do not do that and do something else?
Yeah,
at the
you
same
can.
Time?
For sure.
Then
You
what
do
is
a
the
good
other?
job.
What is the other solution?
What do you
Same
can?
time?
For sure.
Then
You
what is
do a
the
good
other?
job.
What is the other solution?
What do you mean?
Like double down on it. I say if you think the community is just the only answer, you're wrong. So double down on your efforts that you can do. Work for your community and vote.
Yeah, vote.
Now
vote in your
you
community.
could double down on preserving what you're trying to create. Otherwise, you run into a dead stop by working for your community to help your community. But
Yeah, we don't talk about our community though. We talk about the government. So
we talk about everything, all encompassing.
okay.
So, but the government is the stronghold of everything we discuss.
Yeah, but it's also the least likely thing that you can change personally.
But your community is ran by the government. So how are you going to change that?
Individuals are stronger than that one full entity.
If all individuals go the same direction, you're absolutely right.
Sure.
But if not, we're working against each other.
If
I
there's
agree.
50% of the country disagrees with the other 50%, we're pretty screwed then. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, it's,
We're
it's
just
likely
butting
that
heads
your
and making
government's
no
the one that's
progress.
doing that. So
Well, I don't think the government told the liberals down the street with blue hair that we should kill babies. I think they want to do that, and the government allows it. But
I think that is definitely a governmental
All right.
issue. But
We
sure.
appreciate you guys for checking us out. Dalton, thanks for coming in and letting us go at you. I know you were kind of cornered by all three of us attacking you, and you responded very well to everything. And yeah, I commend you, bro. Turning Point's got a real one in you, bro. And I hope that everything is worth it and valuable to what you're doing for them, because they're definitely benefiting having you on their team.
well, I
without a doubt.
appreciate it. I
Your mind is
appreciate it.
open, bro.
I'm here to stay. It's what I love to do. I love the movement. I love the company. I love the people in it. So
Oh yeah.
that's what I'm
Awesome.
doing.
Guys, good stuff. Dion, thanks for bringing good argument to the table. Cody, appreciate you. Everybody else, thanks for checking us out.
Dion is the liberal in our group.
Don't forget,
liberal, dude.
don't forget to like, subscribe, share the channel, tell your friends about us. Don't tell your friends about us. Talk good, talk bad. It doesn't really matter as long as you're voting for the lesser of evils. Peace.